선수는 죽음의 조를 만들겠다 이런 자세를 취하는 선수 중에 한 명이기 때문에
강한 사람이랑 한번 붙다 보니까 마음적으로는 되게 편안하더라고요. 뭔가 부담감도 없고 비슷한 선택을 하지 않을까.
저는 진짜 비조 너무 가기 싫고요. 저거 중에 제일 잘하는 것 같더라고요.
오.
홍구랑 조중에
오.
당연히 상현이가 더 잘하죠.
오.
무조건 잘하죠. 무조건 잘하죠.
어이가 없는 게 저 저번 시즌 누구한테 떨어진지 잘 모르는 것 같아요. 다른 사람 생각하고 있었는데 타겟층이 바뀌어버렸어요.
아니 다른 조에서 이 지명을 하는데 도발이 들어왔어요.
근데 화가 되게 많이 났었거든요. 또 다른 반찬들이 맛있는 반찬들이 또 있더라고요.
와, 이게 어떤
저 아니 뽑아줬으면 좋겠어요, 홍규야.
오.
저는 홍규보단 짭제가 잘한다고 생각하거든요.
와.
오케이 갑시다.
이거 정신이 있단 말이에요. 와. 도발 성공. 와.
홍규가 근데 뽑을 것 같았어요, 느낌이.
네.
제가 이제 10년째 홍규 단박인 만큼 한번 또 이겨보도록 하겠습니다.
태경 형님이 군대 갔다 오기 전이랑 그 후랑
오.
태경 형이 달라진 게 아니고 제가 달라졌거든요. 많은 깨달음을 얻었기 때문에 그 깨달음 16강에서 한번 보여드리려고 합니다.
누굴 뽑을지 생각을 공유했는데
네.
저랑 좀 의견이 안 맞더라고요. 그냥 제 습관적으로 좀 하려고요. 저거를 뽑고 싶은데 남은 사람이 별로 없어요. 테란을 뽑자기에는 재호는 너무 힘들고 기석이는 데려갈 것 같고.
오 이재호.
쳐다보지도 않네요. 이재호가
오.
손을 드니까.
예. 네.
아, 재호야 너는 안 돼.
다 조가 똑같은 것 같긴 해요.
오.
그래도 가기 싫네요 보니까.
태경이 형이 저그 뽑아 하고 싶어 하는 것 같아가지고 저밖에 안 남았어요. 근데 뽑으면은 이제 뽑아 올게요.
아 부러워요. 아 부러워요. 전부 다 오기 싫어하는 조였거든요. 그룹 씨는요. 와.
김정우 선수 입장에서 당황 들어온 거.
도발을 거는데.
아유 김태경 선수 이재호한테도 약하고 저한테도 결승 졌었는데 혼나실 준비하세요.
테란전보다 저그전이 편하거든요. 그래도.
네.
그래서 뽑게 됐습니다.
김정우 선수 지금 화가 좀 많이 난 것 같아요.
근데 어차피 저 승자전 갈 거고 저거는 패자전 갈 것 같아요.
이제 남은 선수가 장윤철과 이재호 선수가 지금 남아 있습니다.
순간적으로 욱해가지고 이재호 선수 뽑는다 했는데 맛있어 보이는 친구 한 명 있네요.
지금 너무 어지럽고요. 그래도 정우 형이랑 저랑 알게 된 지도 10년이 넘었어요. 같이 생활한 적도 있었고 또 정우 형도 군대에 있을 때 안부 카톡도 보냈고
얘기를 들으니까 마음이 좀 편해지네요. 그래도 오래 지냈으니까 이해할 거라고 생각합니다.
저희는 가족이에요 진짜. 원래 10년 동안 같이 지내다 보면은 진짜
네.
가족인데 가족끼리 싸우는 건 전 좋지 않다 생각하거든요. 우린 가족이야.
가족이냐 남이냐.
가족이야. 야, 가족은 한 집에서 살아야 되는 거거든요.
이제 가족도 오래되면은 남이 될 수도 있고 그런 거죠.
카식스와 LG 울트라기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 16강 3일차 C조 경기로 인사드립니다. 안녕하세요, 이영경입니다. 지난주 펼쳐졌던 A조와 B조의 경기 정말 한시도 눈을 뗄 수 없는 긴장감 넘치는 경기들이 연이어 펼쳐졌는데요. 오늘 역시 시청자분들의 눈을 즐겁게 해줄 경기들이 펼쳐지길 기대해보면서 첫 경기를 앞두고 있는 두 선수죠. 이몽규 선수와 김태경 선수 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 먼저 시드 이몽규 선수 최근 온라인상에서 연습량이 엄청나다고 들었습니다. 엄청난 연습량만큼 좀 자신감도 있으실 것 같은데 경기 앞두고 계신 좀 컨디션은 어떠세요?
굉장히 좋고 이제 준비 또한 굉장히 잘해왔기 때문에 오늘 뭔가 가볍게 올라갈 것 같습니다.
김태경 선수도 오랜만에 16강 경기를 좀 앞두고 계시는데 복귀하고 첫 시즌이었던 시즌 9에서도 죽음의 조에 좀 속하셨었고 이번 시즌 11 역시 좀 쉽지 않은 조에 속하게 되셨습니다. 조에 대한 생각 어떠세요?
네, 좀 원래 뒤에 뽑히면 어쩔 수 없다고 생각하고 오늘 좀 손 좀 많이 풀려고 3시간 전에 왔는데
정말 빨리 오셨더라고요.
네, 좀 손을 많이 풀어가지고 좀 괜찮네요.
느낌이 괜찮으신가요?
네.
근데 이몽규 선수가 최근 프로토스를 상대로 워낙 또 좋은 모습을 보여주고 계셔서 많은 분들이 새 시즌 연속 8강 진출을 좀 기대하고 계시거든요.
네.
1위 진출에 대한 자신감은 좀 어느 정도신지 궁금해요.
일단은 1위 진출의 가능성은 태경이 형을 이기느냐 못 이기느냐에 따라 달렸기 때문에
네.
1세트에 거의 모든 걸 담았어요. 그래가지고 좀 뭔가 1세트를 이기게 되면은 거의 100% 확률로 이제 8강 진출할 것 같고, 만약에 그 반대 상황이 나온다면 조금 힘들 것 같습니다.
그럼 그 단판에 모든 걸 걸겠다라고 말씀을 해주셨는데 전략적인 부분에 있어서 좀 확신에 찬 빌드가 나올 것인지가 궁금하거든요.
여태까지 제가 플레이했던 거에 대해서 가장 완벽한 게임이라고 생각하시면 될 것 같아요.
반면에 김태경 선수는 좀 최근에 저그전이 쉽지 않다라고 또 말씀을 하셨어요. 근데 이몽규 선수를 만나기 때문에 저그전에 대한 준비를 좀 열심히 해오셨을 것 같은데 준비 과정 어땠나요?
저도 일단 첫 경기가 굉장히 중요하다고 생각해가지고 홈기전을 준비를 제일 많이 했어요. 이기면 올라간다는 생각, 지면 탈락한다는 생각으로 준비를 좀 했고, 근데 홈기가 요새 너무 잘하더라고요. 그래서 어떻게 될지 잘 모르겠는데 잘할 때나 못할 때나 그래도 제가 이겼던 그런 경험들이 있어요. 기억들이. 그래서 오늘도 이길 생각입니다.
자, 이번에는 팬분들이 두 분께 궁금하셨던 점들을 좀 적어왔는데요. 먼저 이몽규 선수, 김태경 선수를 조지명식에서 뽑으면서 이후에 김정우 선수, 장윤철 선수 죽음의 조를 결국에 이번에도 만드셨어요. 만들고 연습을 좀 하면서 조금의 후회가 좀 되지는 않으셨는지 궁금해하시더라고요.
단 1%의 후회도 없었습니다.
단 1%의 후회도 없었다.
오히려 저는 또 이렇게 강한 상대들끼리 만나게 돼가지고 올라가면은 더욱더 인정받고 각광받는 걸 알기 때문에
네.
약간 오히려 더 즐겼어요, 이런 상황을.
그래도 좀 준비를 하면서
네.
이 선수는 좀 빼고 싶다 우리 조에서 싶은 마음이 들었던 선수가 전혀 없나요?
뭐 이성적으로 선택할 것 같으면 김태경 선수가 당연히 맞겠죠. 하지만 이제 또 제가 앞서 말씀드렸듯이 정말 강한 상대를 만나서 이겨서 올라가는 게 좀 목표이기 때문에
네.
후회는 없었습니다.
김태경 선수에게 질문 드리겠습니다. 10년여 전 이몽규 선수가 연습생일 시절부터 굉장히 대회 중요한 길목에서 이몽규 선수를 탈락시켰던 또 장본인이시잖아요. 근데 10년 전에 이몽규 선수와 지금의 이몽규 선수 본인은 많이 달라졌다라고 얘기를 했는데 김태경 선수가 느끼시기에 이몽규 선수 어떤 부분이 어떻게 좀 달라졌는지 듣고 싶습니다.
그게 저도 좀 어떻게 말해야 될지 모르겠는데 저 군대 가기 전에는 좀 그래도 많이 지는 사람들이 많았어요. 근데 군대 갔다 와서는 많이 안 지더라고요. 근데 저한테만 유독 져요. 그래서 그게 좀 신기하고 저도 왜 그런지는 잘 모르겠어요.
좀 상성이라고 생각을 하시는 건가요, 그러면?
홍규가 많이 그 연습생 때 많이 져가지고 그런가 그런 좀 위축한 그런 플레이들을 많이 하는 것 같아요.
오히려 그럼 김태경 선수는 이몽규 선수를 만나면 약간 자신이 없다가도 그래도 홍규는 이기지 않을까라는 생각을 하게 되시나요?
원래 뭐 옛날에는 그랬는데 요새는 진짜 너무 잘해요. 제가 볼 때
네.
저거 중에 제일 잘하는 것 같은데 오늘 쉽지 않을 것 같아요.
쉽지 않을 것 같다. 아마 두 선수의 이 첫 경기 단판이 굉장히 많은 것들을 결정할 것 같다라는 생각이 드는데요. 두 분의 각오를 한 말씀씩 들어보겠습니다. 이몽규 선수.
김태경 선수 이제 어떻게 보면은 저그전 스페셜리스트인데 오늘 한번 꺾고 올라가는 모습, 그리고 또 새로운 역사를 쓰는 모습 한번 보여드리겠습니다.
김태경 선수 한 말씀 들려주시죠.
이런 죽음의 조에서 1등을 한 게 거의 1등한 적이 거의 없었던 것 같아요. 오늘 1등 무조건 해가지고 방송 키도록 하겠습니다.
네, 두 선수의 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘의 첫 경기를 앞두고 있는 임홍규 선수와 김태경 선수 만나서 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 두 번째 경기 역시 많은 분들이 기대하고 있는 선수들이 등장하는데요. 김정우 선수와 장윤철 선수 지금 바로 함께하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
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 네, 먼저 김정우 선수 방식이 바뀌고 나서는 처음으로 또 16강전을 앞두고 계시잖아요.
네네.
소감이 좀 어떠세요?
그 전에는 이제 방식 바뀌기 전에는 좀 16강을 뚫지 못하고 탈락하는 경우가 많았었는데 또 제가 다전제에서 좀 성적이 좋았거든요. 그래서 제가 좋아하게끔 바뀌긴 했는데
네.
예, 제가 이제 좀 손목이 많이 안 좋아져서 오히려 더 안 좋아졌어요.
아, 경기를 좀 많이 펼쳐야 한다는 것에 대한 좀 생각이 많으실 것 같은데 장윤철 선수와도 인사를 좀 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
지난 시즌 8강에 진출하시기는 했지만 이번 시즌은 더 높은 곳을 좀 바라보고 계실 것 같거든요. 오늘 경기 어떻게 준비하셨나요?
오늘이 일단 최대 고비일 것 같고요. 오늘만 올라가면 그래도 좀 순탄할 것 같아요.
그래도 최근에 이 장윤철 선수 본인의 개인 방송에서 C조에서 1위에 진출할 것 같다라고 좀 자신감 있는 모습을 보여주셨는데 어떤 점에서 본인의 1위 진출 가능성을 좀 높게 보셨나요?
일단 저는 옛날부터 그랬는데 누구랑 해도 제가 원래 마인드는 안 진다는 마인드로 해요. 그래가지고 그게 좀 발동이 돼서 그렇게 예측을 했고 뭐 제가 떨어질 거라고 생각하는 사람들이 좀 많을 테지만 제가 꼭 올라가도록 할 겁니다.
본인의 그 예측에 대한 적중률이 이번 시즌에 좀 어떤가요?
좋지 않아요. 지금 지옥입니다.
본인을 꼽았을 때는 그만큼의 또 확신이 있었기 때문에 좀 꼽았을 거라는 생각이 드는데요. 자, 장윤철 선수가 이렇게 좀 강한 자신감을 보이고 있는 것에 대한 김정우 선수의 생각은 어떠신지도 좀 역으로 여쭤보고 싶어요.
아니 요새 온라인에서 잘하긴 하더라고요. 잘하긴 하는데 또 괜히 쭉펠레라는 별명 생긴 거 아니거든요. 예, 자신을 1위로 뽑았기 때문에 오늘 광탈할 것 같습니다.
광탈할 것 같다. 심리적인 도발을 살짝 하시는 것 같은데 이번에는 양 선수들에게 팬분들이 전해주신 질문을 좀 드려보겠습니다. 김정우 선수 이번 16강을 통해서 좀 혼쭐 내주고 싶은 선수가 있다면 어떤 선수를 좀 꼽으시나요?
혼쭐 내주고 싶은 선수가 한 명 있었는데
네.
그 선수를 오늘 이제 첫 경기에서 하게 됐어요.
장윤철 선수를 좀 혼내주고 싶다. 어떤 이유에서죠?
그냥 이유 없이 그냥 혼내주고 싶더라고요. 예.
본인이 1위 진출할 거라고 좀 너무 자신감 있게 얘기를 해서 더 약간 혼내주고 싶은 마음이 드신 것 같은데 맞나요?
예, 좀 건방지더라고요.
네. 장윤철 선수에게 남겨주신 질문인데요. 손목 얘기가 좀 나왔어요. 최근
네.
손목 컨디션이 좀 좋지 않으시다고 얘기를 해서 오늘 경기에는 좀 어떨지 걱정하시는 분들이 많으세요.
이번에 그 영호 형의 마음을 좀 제대로 알았어요. 그래가지고 이게 못하겠더라고요. 아예 실생활에 좀 문제가 있을 정도로 그래가지고 게임도 좀 많이 하지는 못했는데 그래도 나름 잘 준비해왔고 아까 저한테 이상한 소리 했잖아요. 저 예측 바꿀게요. 1등 김정우로 하겠습니다.
1등 김정우로. 아니 갑자기 이렇게 경기 전에 바꾸신다고요? 김정우 선수 지금 좀 어이가 없으신 표정이에요.
큰일 났네요.
근데 김정우 선수도 좀 손목에 대한 부담이 어느 정도 있으실 것 같은데 좀 관리를 잘 해오셨는지 팬들에게 좀 걱정이 많이 될 것 같아요. 팬들은.
예, 이제 그래도 이제 경기 당일날 컨디션이 제일 중요하니까 최대한 쉬면서 이제 컨디션 관리했고요. 또 장윤철 선수도 오늘 안 좋다고 했으니까 예, 손목록 해서 제가 이기도록 하겠습니다.
손목록. 마음이 아픈데. 자, 그럼 끝으로 두 선수의 각오를 짧게 한 말씀씩 들어볼게요. 김정우 선수 한 말씀 해주시죠.
뭐 이제 쉬면서 오늘 컨디션 나쁘지 않거든요. 오늘 꼭 이기도록 하겠습니다.
네, 장윤철 선수.
네, 이 지옥의 조에서 올라가면은 진짜 기분 좋을 것 같아요. 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 두 선수 오늘 정말 치열한 멋진 경기 기대하도록 하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다. 자, 하식스와 LG 울트라기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 16강 C조 경기 과연 죽음의 조 C조에서 살아남아 8강에 진출할 두 선수는 어떤 선수가 될지 본격적인 경기 지금부터 함께하시죠.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Group C here in the ASL. I am so excited for this group. This is the one I was looking forward to more than anything. And honestly, I don't know if anybody could claim to know who's going to get out of this.
Well, Tasteless, two things there. First up, I'm shocked that you aren't looking more forward to Group D with 3 Terrans in it.
Yeah.
This is
What a
shocking
surprise.
revelation to me that you don't just want to cast a bunch of TVTs.
Despite TVT being my favorite matchup, this group was even more exciting for me.
And then secondly, I'm going to pretend that I know who's going to make it out of the group because we have 2 of the greatest players of all time in the group, so I'm just going to go with them.
Yeah, the 2 greatest players of all time.
Well, 2 of the greatest.
2 of the greatest players. You're very
number
brave.
3 and number 5, right?
honestly, I think every section of this group is going to have a plot twist. I mean, I think that it's so hard to call who's going to move on. Plot twist is probably not the right.
This is the only
way to say
plot twist we're going to get today.
Dude, I once heard it. What was this? This like after I had gotten a little bit fatter, I actually went to an event, and the event organizer said to me, "So, the plot thickens." I was like, "Damn, that is a savage burn."
It is. It is.
So tonight we've got Larva, Bisu, Effort, and Snow. Dude, I don't know. I don't know who makes it out.
Yeah, it's a pretty insane group that we're looking at here, right? Like Bisu, the greatest Protoss ever. Effort, the second greatest Zerg ever, and then we have like Larva and Snow who have come up more recently, but are right up near the top. Larva, of course, top 4 last season.
Yeah.
Snow has been top 3 Protoss in the world for the last 3 years.
Snow has basically been the best modern Protoss. I
Yeah,
would
for the
say
newer
Rain-
range that grew, like that really blossomed, I guess.
Yeah. Rain for a while was that, but he stepped down, and now Snow's here. And Snow, he revolutionized PvT in so many different ways, especially the usage of the Reaver. But PvP, he's phenomenal. PvZ, he's phenomenal.
And he did look just fantastic in that previous group, but yeah, I don't know, man. Looking at the group, it is definitely a very tough one, and it feels like every single match could go either way. But I don't know. I look at B, so I look at Effort, and I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be the best? Aren't you guys the champions?
All right, here is a shot of Larva. Larva, again, one of the later Zergs in the history of Zergs to emerge as a great player. And his story is quite different. This guy exploded as a huge streamer and continued to pour himself into the game and is now a regular in any ASL.
Yeah, he makes it in quite regularly. He plays a very strong style, but like a style that isn't as popular, I would say, with Zerg players. He's more of a macro player. He was more of an intelligence player in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah.
I never think about his aggressive plays, like especially looking at like his ZVT. He's not that aggressive. He's like a more of a longer game type player that wants to get the late game, and then like his ZVZ is not micro-based either. So you have to think of him as more of a macro player than a micro player. Right?
I'd put him on the opposite spectrum of Soma.
Yes.
Soma is
He's the
going to
opposite of
try
Soma.
to break. He's going to do 6 or 7 things that will try to kill you outright, and he'll do them all perfectly. But here we go with Bisu. Now, Bisu has looked great so far here in the ASL. He's an extremely strong player. He is not as strong as he was in the past, but he's still a top contender. And I do think he could take this season. I think with Flash out of the picture, suddenly this is a, frankly, much more interesting ASL as far as speculating who's going to come out on top.
Sure. I can't disagree with you there. And, I mean, we have some of the best players eliminated already as well. Oh wow.
All right.
Let's go.
They're just in a hurry tonight here. This is going to be game 1. Larva versus Bisu, a PvZ to start things off in Group C of the ASL. I don't know why we're in such a rush right now. I felt like that was the shortest intro for an ASL we've ever had.
I think you're just excited, Tasus. That was completely normal, that amount. It's been 18 minutes.
Is it bothering you that I'm jumping up and down as we're talking about
A little bit.
So Polypoid is going to be our first map. It's cross spawns here with Larva in the bottom left, Bisu in the top right.
All right. Yeah, of course, the first 2 games are going to be best of 1s, and then everything else will be best of 3 after that. Now, I know that you watch a fair amount of Bisu's stream. What do you think about his matchup against Larva? Because they definitely play together a lot.
There's actually, do you remember this clip I sent you via text? The one of Larva trying to stop a cannon rush? And the pilot? That was Bisu.
Oh, that was Bisu. That's so funny. Explain.
So, yeah,
Tasus.
there's... on this map and on plenty of other maps, you can put a pylon behind the minerals, and then you put a cannon, and you can block it off with another pylon, and he successfully remade a pylon 3 times to stop the Lings from coming, and then Larva punched his desk and left the game.
Yeah.
Understandable, yeah. To be honest with you, though, I haven't seen as much of Bisu lately. I mean, as you know, we've been actually casting a lot. With Valorant and StarCraft 2 and even a little bit of PUBG, so I haven't seen him lately, but Bisu's always looked to be very strong, very, very much more in the Zerg space than any other Protoss.
Yeah. Well, we see some stats in the bottom right. You can see Bisu still with the top win percentage in Protoss vs. Zerg in ASL, despite giving his military service through the middle of it. So that's like kind of funny. And of course, he has a big match win history against Larva. We also saw he's 4th overall on the total wins in ASL.
Yeah.
Bisu is, so that's kind of cool. And we finally saw it because we were joking on one of these previous casts about when they showed it, they showed 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because Flash's stats would like embarrass everyone.
Yeah.
Flash has 92 wins, and the 2nd place has like 53 wins.
Yeah, so
is that the
crazy.
craziest thing? And Flash has now skipped two ASL, so it's
Yeah.
like that's really funny. It's
pretty
no,
wild.
literally, he's going to come out of the military, and no one will have caught him.
Yeah, that's so crazy. This is Nexus on 12. For those of you who watch ASL because you're trying to steal builds, whether it's GSL or ASL, I know a lot of people are just here for the pure purpose of trying to farm out information so that they can improve themselves. This is a build that is highly risky and is not generally recommended for ladder play, unless, let's say, you get somebody way higher ranked than you and you just want to roll the dice. In which case it's acceptable. But if you're trying to look at a build order and understand, well, how does this work if they Ling rush you? Well, you lose the game. So it's intended to be safe against, he's assuming that, for instance, Larva won't 9-pool. And these are specifically good plays, usually in a best of 3 or best of 5, but he's going to use it right here, right now.
Yeah, it's really good to mix in a big variety when you're playing, especially in a long group like this. Like, Bisu might end up playing. He could play 7 PVZs tonight. That's a real possibility.
Yeah.
So.
And I think this is a good masking technique because it doesn't really show what his normal play is right now. Even though I think Bisu, frankly, has such a range, he can kind of do
for
every
sure.
single style pretty well.
For sure. I mean, he's really the greatest Protoss ever, so I am hoping that he can show us something big, right? Like, he's kind of the biggest name in ASL right now, and the fact that Queen has been eliminated, like, he was probably the favorite going into this ASL.
Yeah.
So it does leave it a bit wide open, right? And I mean, as we look at the next round coming up and everything, I feel like the winner of this group, whoever gets out of this group, has a very solid shot at winning the tournament.
I agree.
Because I see some of the people that have gone out already. I'm like, well, JYJ, I mean, he's playing great, but he's not going to win ASL, right? That would be a shocking thing.
That would be the weirdest ASL ever.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be the weirdest Star League ever that has happened, is the one where JYJ wins this time. So we should point out Bisu, as far as progression goes, is actually in very good shape because the build he opened with, he was in cross spawns, and the Zerg did not do any kind of build that could have punished. So, I mean, he is going to be able to tech up very quickly here, and he's going to go for Citadel without a Stargate, and this is becoming more popular in PvZ.
Yeah, is he just going for really quick Zealot legs and +1?
Yeah, that's correct. He's just going to come out. When you get the Stargate, and then you get the Citadel shortly after that, the Zealot speed is later than if you do it like this. This really allows you to actually have some presence on the map quite quickly. And so this is something that only Bisu does, at least when I cast in these games, but he always makes that second gateway down on the low ground to be safe in case Muta's go into his main. He can make an Archon down there with the second gate.
Oh, I think you told me about that, actually, about how you make the second gateway close to the first for that Archon so the Templars don't have to walk too far to each other.
Yeah. But everybody else makes it in the main. He makes it right there.
Those fools, they need to learn. Now look at this. The Speedlings get in, and they see exactly what is up, and that is a very quick Citadel.
Yeah, and the Zealots are not turning around at all here. So, again, keep in mind that this is already fast because he got the Zealot speed before. Looks like this has almost been held. He got the Zealot leg upgrade instead of even getting the Stargate, but this is also Nexus on 12, so it's even quicker than that.
Yeah. And some good micro here from Larva, actually, getting quite a few probes. During all this, we did have a Sunken go up to help eliminate this Zealot. There are a couple more Zealots heading up there, but more Lings coming out as well. And I gotta say, Tasteless, like, Larva actually really likes to go for Ling Muta in this matchup, but now that he has scouted no Stargate, there's no chance he won't do it, right? Like, he's going to go Ling Muta.
I think you have to. Well, I think, the Protoss gives up quite a bit by not having just even the possibility of Corsairs, right? We see games that are Corsair light, but the fact that you can kind of counter tech out of that structure is one of the things that makes it so strong. So I think it's very tempting to go for Muta. Now, one thing you can do if you skip the Stargate, and people make fun of me because I do talk about this a decent amount, but you can get a Dark Archon and go for Maelstrom and try to catch the Mutas that way.
Tasteless, man.
Why are you laughing at me? I'm not wrong.
Tasteless.
I'm not wrong, and it has happened in
You
games.
have got. You're such a beautiful mind, Tasteless.
It's true.
You've got this whole propaganda wing on making Dark Archons.
They're
It's
not
so
that
funny.
bad. They're not that bad.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, but it's just kind of funny how much you love them.
I do.
Now, the Zealots do have +1, but there are a ton of Lings pushing these back right now. It seems like he wanted to keep the pressure on before the Mutas came out.
Yeah, the idea.
But Larva hasn't been greedy at all.
Yeah, and he actually went double Stargate after this.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if we had a shot of that when we were talking. I was
No, we
looking at our
didn't.
screen the whole time, but that was not what I was expecting.
He should have gone Dark Archon, not the 2 Stargate, right?
Yeah. What is he doing? But this is also, I really like the response because
Yeah.
by the time the Mutas get there,
Yeah.
they will have already been countered. Very, very brainy stuff here from Bisu. I really like the way he's played this. He's basically had a build that is directly responding, even before the game started in some ways, responding to everything that Zerg would likely do. I mean, these guys do play a lot, so he went for the Nexus on 12. Went into the Zealot pressure. Zealot pressure really didn't do that much, but then the follow-up to blind counter it with Mass Corsairs is insane.
Yeah, that's some pretty impressive stuff. And now that he's got this many Corsairs out and there's like no Hydralisk Den yet, he just started it, you're going to dominate his Overlords, right?
I think so. Well, what's funny is that because it's double Stargate later on, I think the Zerg is unaware of the growth rate that's happening here. So he's just going to get blindsided by so many more Corsairs than he was probably expecting.
Yeah.
With +1 attack on the ground and speed lots, it seems like Protoss not only wins the ground fight, but the air fight as well. So it's like he's basically got two different things that can work from. Now, he has to watch out for the Mass Scourge here. This, if mismanaged, will flip the game into the Zerg's favor, but this is actually one of the less tricky situations for Micro in the game, I would say.
Okay.
It's harder for the Zerg than for the Protoss.
Yeah. And he does have a lot of Scourge out right now. Looks like he is going for that +1 Corsair attack, although that will take a little bit to finish up. But I would be very scared here as Larva. Like, he is balancing on the knife's edge with his Scourge Muta.
Yeah. Now this is going to get to a climax pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
The Zerg has armor, which means the Corsairs are not as strong. I actually didn't realize he did not have +1 attack yet.
It is a little bit late.
That's pretty alarming here. +1 attack, especially with Scourge and Mutas, makes a huge difference.
He's a little bit trapped out here. He's got 9 Corsairs, but that is a lot of Scourge.
+1's done. Yeah, his Corsairs are definitely stuck in the upper left quadrant of the map.
Look at that Scourge count. Okay, here we go. Let's see. He just attacks in.
God, great play, getting almost all the Corsairs. I guess we don't really have that many Mutas out, though. So
No,
the Corsairs are still a threat.
Yeah, definitely going into Hydras from here, but he saves for the Corsairs, which seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And of course he can remake if he needs, but he's going into Templars here as well. Yeah,
We're going to have Templars and Storm come out here because Hydralisks are eventually going to be a threat. But he's continuing to pump on the double Stargate. And, yeah, let's keep our eye on this DT over here as well because that's a unit that could absolutely end up being a threat later on here. I mean, Corsairs, Overlords tend to bunch up when they know Corsairs are a threat because they need to all be protected in one spot, which means sometimes there are blind spots where a DT can get in and do a ton of damage.
Looks like he's getting ready for another base. Oh, comes in and snipes the High Templar. The Storm does get off and deals a bit of damage there to the Mutas. But we have, how many Corsairs? 10 Corsairs right now with +1. That is deadly anti-air.
So we got lots of Hydras, and this is, for me, actually the most interesting part of the game because, I mean, everything up to here is straightforward in why it's strong for Protoss, but are his Templars late enough that the Hydras are too strong?
Yeah.
Is the question I'm asking myself. Zealots are good against Hydras if you have a lot of Zealots, but after time, the Hydras will just beat them, especially if they're controlled even a little bit.
Yeah, you know, ranged units obviously can put way more damage output onto the melee units trying to run up and get on top of them. All about that critical mass. Now the Muta's still doing some decent harassment here. Get a cancel on a couple cannons. Looks like they're going to dive in looking for High Templars. And yeah, maybe you're right about that, Taste. He's going to probably lose all these Mutas. But now he's picked off a couple of the High Templars. And like, how are we going to end up holding on when the Hydras come to attack with just Zealots?
Yeah, that's the big question here. And not just Hydras, too, but Lurkers are going to be coming. And the Robo's delayed as well.
Oh, no.
You know, it looks so strong what Protoss is doing early on, but a Corsair is 100 gas. It's a lot of gas. When you think of how you know, expensive Templars are, a Robo is 200 gas. You're delaying a lot of other things that are necessary to have any viability in a longer game.
You know what I think I like about Bisu's build here, though, Tasteless, while I watch? It feels to me like he's given Larva a lot of chances to make a bad mistake that would allow Bisu to win the game instantly. The thing is, Larva played very, very well. Like, he stayed quite calm and dealt with everything, and now he's got a lot of Hydras.
I would also say I think Larva's handled this entire game extremely well, despite being pretty thrown off from the start all the way into the counterattack. All right, here we go. Big attack coming in here. Again, no Observer in this fight.
Oh, no.
And Zealots are so bad against Lurkers.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think they'd be a little bit better, but they're not that much better than Marines, to be honest, but as far as taking damage. They die extremely quickly. And so, I mean, this is just an area he can't engage. The final part of the tech, which is being upgraded now, is the Dragoon range, which is what, GG, it's what allows you to actually fight the Dragoon. So, I'll tell you what, Bisu took a risk. The ideas behind it started to work, but Larva navigated that game so well.
Yeah. Larva looked so incredibly solid throughout.
Yeah.
Like, all of his reactions. I felt scared for him when there was like 10 Corsairs plus that many Speedlots running around. And he's just sitting there like, okay, the Scourge have to basically connect. But he kept calm. He played beautifully. And again, I feel like Bisu gave Larva ample opportunities to screw up and die. And he just didn't do it. That is a rock-solid CVP.
Yeah. Really impressive stuff. I don't know about doing that build or that style in a best of one. You know?
Okay.
I guess we'll have
if the Speedlings don't get in and see it, maybe it's a lot stronger, you know?
I don't even think it's that.
No?
I think it would have been better for him to play a more straightforward game. But then again, there's so many mind games going on. These guys have been playing against each other a lot online. So the Bisu tried out a pretty interesting technique. I think he went a little bit too heavy in the Corsairs. Anyways, guys, short break. When we come back, our next best of one.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
야채 착착, 방토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
아이시스 에코, 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코, 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준, 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go into Game 2. It will be another PvZ. We had a very interesting game from Bisu. I don't think we're going to see anything strategically like that again here tonight.
Okay.
That is a build, again, you can really take a risk, and maybe you get away with it. And I think, for what you said earlier, Artosis, I think it's smart that he did it because he's going to possibly have so many more games in that matchup. Better to hide it.
Yeah, maybe.
And Larva 1, he handled everything, I think, perfectly in that game.
Played magnificently.
Yeah.
No question about it. Now we're going to be going into Effort up against Snow. And I got to say, like, Effort, I'm just so excited that he's back and actually playing. This guy, don't forget, he won the Advanced Star League, which was the lead-in to the first ASL, so it's almost like ASL Season 0. And
Did
that
we
was,
cast that?
We did.
We
That's
did,
right
okay.
when we came back was the second round of 4 match, which was
That
his.
was the tournament we convinced him to let us do.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Right at the end. So one round of 4 match and then the finals, and it was like him versus Bisu in the finals where he won, and then also he beat Flash in the finals. So he's actually like basically right up there with Queen, right? In second place to Flash overall in ASL. But here he is going up against Snow. And I think that this has been kind of a fun journey watching Snow grow throughout because, like in earlier ASL seasons, he actually had a total record of 0% wins ever in professional matches against Zerg, including in the Kespa days. Like he just could not beat Zerg for the longest time. And then he actually became very good at this matchup.
Yeah. It was a tricky matchup for a long time, I think, for a lot of Protosses. Effort. God, they're starting these so fast. Effort versus Snow. We're going into the next best of 1. Remember, the winner faces Larva. The loser goes up against Bisu in the elimination match.
So we have Effort there in the bottom right and Snow in the bottom left. All right. I'm excited to see what Effort wants to play like here.
Yeah, Effort's been one of the greatest players in StarCraft for a long time, and he's always been very good at controlling the pace of the game. He really, because there's a lot of different ways to play Zerg. It's what makes Zerg so fun. But he's always been able to dictate the way his opponent's going to play. He's had some very good early pool builds in this matchup where he controlled it. It does seem like the super quick pool meta is not really popular at the highest level. Obviously, it's always common on lower tier ladder, but generally speaking, it seems to be more about, overpool, which is more of a preventative measure against cannon rush. You don't die to zealot rushes, and you're sort of safe against everything. But I don't feel like I have a great handle on the modern Effort style.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how he's going to end up playing that, which is kind of why I'm excited to see. And also, he's, there's really, and there always has been, 2 different types of Zergs, the very highly aggressive ones and the very highly reactive ones. And historically, and speaking from personal experience, the stronger ones are generally the aggressive ones, right?
Yeah.
The Zergs that are so good at their micro and so decisive, which is one of the most important things of Zerg, that they just can kill you at any moment. And the Effort has always been like that, right? Just like Jaedong, where it's like, yeah, these guys can play some of the best big macro games, but in general, you're going to be afraid of the sharp moves that they're going to make.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is a pretty fortunate spot here to get here first. You can try to delay the hatchery coming down with a pylon. And it's just one of these moments that just to slow anything down for the Zerg is pretty handy. Now, because it's gate first, are you kidding me?
It is crazy.
Yeah, because it's gate first, you still have a lot of opportunities to punish.
What? What?
Okay,
No.
all right.
I was very ready for him to block it again.
Like, how much longer can he delay this?
And that
Normally
was
it's
that
like
was
a
insane.
few seconds, but
That was crazy.
that was wild. And so the Zealots coming in here. This is the gate opening that's been popular since we started casting StarCraft 1 again in the early ASL seasons, and it's remained, I think, probably most would agree the strongest of the builds. But of course, it requires a lot of decision making. And so I'm curious to see how Snow handles this because he got the delay on the hatch. It does seem like things are slowed down overall.
Oh, it seems pretty cool there for Snow. Now he is running around still with his probe and his Zealot. The Zealot looks like it's going to go to the third base while he tries to clean up this Zergling. Yeah, Effort's the type of guy, like he's one of the fastest players in the world. You can see his APM right now, over 500.
Yeah, that makes my wrist hurt just looking at that number.
I know, right? Like he's always been one of the fastest players. Amazing to see. But yeah, he's the type of guy who will macro perfectly while having 3 speedlings alive in your base and kill all your probes. So you got to be careful about that. There's like not that many players who can actually pull that off.
So he actually hit the one Zealot, which is going to put both these players in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. The Lings could still hit the gateway here, but Effort has to be very careful to not lose too many workers. And if Ling's speed finishes and he doesn't get a block on the ramp, and he basically doesn't. Great control here. These Lings can start to kill off a lot of probes.
Yeah, that looks very annoying right now. With 5 Lings in the main base, that is a scary thing indeed. Now, he is counter-harassing here with a probe and a Zealot, and he's done some great micro so far. Look at that. He really got a lot of Zergling kills so far on that. Looks like does start to clean up some of these Lings in his main. Only 3 left over. So a couple going down there. Look at that Zealot sit behind. 2 more Zealots on the way. Dude, these two are really trying to tax each other.
Yeah, this is really actually kind of cool to see on both sides here. The Zealot does get behind, and he actually sent these 2 Zealots out. Snow is so good. He also spots the den there.
Oh my god, he gets a drone?
You know, it's very rare when Lings get inside your main that you'll see somebody send 2 Zealots across the map.
Oh, that's for sure. And look at this one Zealot tanking up so many of those Ling hits.
Yeah.
He's like gonna kill the hatchery now. The Hydralisk Den got canceled, Tasteless.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So this has really been a very different PvZ. This has been a lot more about movement and bluffing and positional setups here. And I think Snow's basically come out ahead. He spotted the den. The den had to be canceled.
Yeah, comes after the cannon. Could we see some sort of very strong attack? Oh my god, he actually has a hole in the wall, but the probes get up there on top of it.
I think Protoss gets the block
Yeah,
off.
it does look that way.
As long as the cannon could finish, and that should be a full block. He's fine. He still keeps the 2 Zealots behind the minerals.
Oh my god, Tasteless. He's being so efficient. Look at this. Effort has like no drones, right? He's just sitting here making Zerglings.
Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, he has to kill these Zealots, and of course it's inefficient because they're having to attack behind the minerals here.
This feels so good for Snow.
Oh,
he remade the Hydralisk Den. I love it.
So a Hydra bus could still work.
Hey, he's mining with like 10 drones.
Yeah.
Tasteless. 11 drones on minerals.
So here's what happened. He canceled it, and no, you know what is inefficient is to cancel tech and then remake it. But he's hoping that because StarCraft at the highest level is so much about cutting corners, that Snow has now discarded the Hydra bust as a possibility. And then an abruptly later Hydra bust will come. And if he keeps one cannon there and doesn't make another one, it could work.
Yeah.
So I mean, this has been nothing but a game of positional plays into bluffs.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, the Protoss basically sent 2 Zealots out, and which is an insane move when you have 4 Lings inside your.
It was 5 Lings.
5 Lings inside your main. You just sort of don't do that, and then it actually spots it.
This is a crazy game. I mean, you got to hand it to Effort for being this ballsy.
Yeah.
Like, he is pretty damn all in. If this does not work,
this is over.
He has been so slowed down. He's made so many Lings. He has so few drones. The Hydralisk attack timing is going to be weird. Oh my god, he is going to get a couple Zealots maybe. Look at that micro blocking those Zealots from getting back. Deals so much damage. Doesn't look like he'll get the kill, but that was, I mean, you can just see the speed, the skill there of Effort.
Okay, a 3rd cannon comes down. This is pretty good instinct here by Snow. He suspects the cannon rush, or the Hydra rush, excuse me.
Yeah, and he's actually sending he's sending his Corsair to see. Okay, he sees.
That's it. He knows.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes Effort.
This actually might still break Snow.
You think so?
Oh yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? He's only got 3 cannons.
He has a lot of Zerglings there. I mean, Zealots there, and he's making quite a few.
The Zealots aren't strong. They don't have speed. They just die.
Just die. Damn. Look at this. He actually... Okay, he's getting the Zealots on top of some of the Hydras there. Oh my god, he's losing his cannons. 2 cannons fall already. 2 more are morphing. 1 is still shooting. The probes get drilled out here to fight as well. Oh, the probes might actually save the day.
Yeah, the probes do drive him back. He could try to snipe his cannons over here that's closest. Yeah, and that's going to just disappear.
No.
And he's going to get the one in the back,
Oh,
too.
no! I thought it was held.
No, I mean, this is far from over here. He can actually get the forge. It's upgrading. He might even deny +1. Not that this game might go on that long. He could have, but just keep in mind that losing +1 is pretty big. Did he actually deny it, or was it canceled?
I think it actually finished.
It might have. It very well might have.
Yeah.
So he got that. Now, what you see is what you get as far as cannons. In fact, I think the one at the bottom right is a pylon. No, all 3 are cannons.
Okay.
And
it seems like that's enough cannons to hold it, though, now, right?
Let's see, man. This is a lot of Hydras. Again,
Yeah.
he can't. Any cannon that dies can't be remade for a little bit.
Look at that. Targets down the cannon, but it does look like he's going to push it all back. He's lost a lot of probes during all this, though.
That is very true. And the Hydra Rush doesn't have to stop. Do we have another forge that was made inside the main?
Yeah.
He did. Okay, very good play. Sometimes when that's hiccup, you can like snipe 2 or 3 cannons, and then in that intermission period, you end up losing the game. I think actually Snow might hold this.
Well, he keeps losing more probes as well, but a lot of Hydras fall that time.
There's also the possibility this game just goes into a normal game because there's so few probes that the Zerg isn't actually that behind with the short amount of drones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that. Like, look at the supplies right now.
I always call, in my head, I think of this as the dust settles situation. Like, now that the dust is settled, there's enough workers on each side that, you know, it's not like somebody's won or lost, really. But you can just let this play out like an ordinary PvZ.
Well, actually, Snow has. This is very easy to do the math because he just had his gateways finish. He's got like 43 probes right now, which is pretty damn solid saturation for 2 bases. So he's adding a ton of gates, getting ready to get into unit production. Does ever have the time here between the gates making and the first sets of units to drone up enough that he can normalize?
I think he can.
Yeah?
I think this might slightly favor Snow. After what you said there, I think you're probably right. It might slightly favor Snow, but let's see. I mean, I do think that the natural on this map, and if you get a good setup on the high ground, it is a good spot to turtle from.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tricky. The thing as well is that once a layer comes out, Protoss can't really roam on the map until they have observers, and that's still a bit of a ways away. We have our first Templar here now, but you need about 4 Templars. And then you need to get Dragoon range. We don't see that started yet. We don't see the Robo started yet. So there's an army that can fight, but if there's any lurkers defending here, I don't think that you can actually get over to where the Zerg is at.
Well, he's going up to 8 gates, so we know his intention here, right, is that he does want to attack. He's scouted out that there is a lair. I'd imagine he'll throw down a Robo pretty quickly, or do you actually, like, try to just get out there before the lurkers?
I mean, you can definitely try to push. You can definitely try to take a fight here. But again, I mean, if the lurkers are out, it used to be Protoss would get the Robo much earlier, and it's just been concluded that you don't really want a Robo that early because then if they don't go lurker, you're just sort of you don't have Templars or anything else. They'll come out with the Zealots. That's normal. Try to take some fights. This will force the Zerg to turtle a little bit. And from there, I don't think we're going to see any real push until an Observer's out, and there's Dragoons with range.
Okay, well, he's actually catching a lot of Hydras on the way back over. Kills 3 of them basically for free. There's a group in the mineral line. Seems a little bit hard to attack there, so he turns around towards the natural. But yeah, there's some great Sim Cities going on. And Snow does turn around as you predicted.
Okay, he's going to back up now. And Armor just now finishes here. It's a great upgrade to get second now because you don't want the Templars to be sniped as quickly. And, I mean, I think both sides are in fairly good shape. We need to see some lurkers here for Snow. This is 5 hatch, I believe.
Yes,
not
5
6.
hatch,
So
yeah.
lurker turtling should be in order here.
He's making those first lurkers. Has some Psy Storms, though, and here we go. A big attack coming in from Snow. Can he break in there?
Good pull away with that Templar.
Wow, yeah, but here comes the flank from the north. Targeting down the Templar. Gets the Storm off, though. Will he get another? No, that one does go down. The Hurt Templar from before gets another one as well, but with those lurkers out, looks like Snow's going to pull back for now.
Okay, the Hydras are now going to bunch up here at the top. Protoss is probably going to have to expand again. I don't know if Snow's going to find any way to do much here. I think he's going to be on his back foot for a little bit. Nice snipe on the Lurker. Any sniping get on the Lurker with the Zealots is worthwhile.
Oh, that Storm, insane effort, tries to split, takes a ton of damage though, and now we are going to have Snow back up. Ooh, should he be like really battling right now? Because he doesn't have any Dragoons yet, right? So how do you push out if the Lurker contain comes up?
Well, you just run out with Zealots and try to hit someone else. It's like vultures.
Sure.
You know? Now, this is not enough. Oh, he's got an observer here. Yeah, this is not enough Hydras that you have to respect this. But if we had, like, let's say 8 Lurkers and some Hydras, it's a different story.
Yeah. Well, he pushes everything back. There's only a couple Lurkers there. Kills one of them. The other one runs. Some High Templars mixed in. Has that first observer. Trying to come down. Ooh, not single file like that. Snow turns around for now. Loses that DT. Nice Storms going off. And yeah, they do some decent damage, but of course, no more Psy Storm here with this army. Picking off what he can. Another Lurker on his way up. And it looks like Effort's getting ready to take a fourth here.
Yeah. Effort is going to have a very late fourth here. And I think Snow positionally has handled this pretty beautifully, to be honest with you. He's really kept the Zealots roaming here. He's getting good engages. These are actually Zealots surrounding the Lurkers. If you can surround a Lurker, suddenly the Lurkers are not so strong.
Yeah.
And Effort really never got that critical mass of Lurkers where the Zealots had to respect this. And so this is a pretty insane game. He's pushed out here, and honestly, this Observer, if it's not sniped, the Zealots can keep doing damage.
Oh gosh. Yeah, look at that. Dealing so much damage, just rolling through all of the Hydras. The drone's trying to glitch them a little bit, and like, he'll eventually technically hold, but Snow with about twice the supply of Effort here. Effort has almost nothing left.
Yeah.
Like, what's he got? A group of Hydras total spread out right now?
Yeah, and these Zealots can just pop drones.
Yeah.
And they're going to do just that. And although Zerg survived that attack, I think the follow-up push is going to kill him. He's now got Dragoons. He's now getting the 9th gate. Which means
the 9th gate.
The 9th gate.
I like that. That's like the death gate, right? In Naruto? Okay. Tell me about the 9th gate.
No, just basically once you get your 3rd up, you can add more gates in. And so when you see them getting gates after 8, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a bit premature. I guess he's transferring right now, but yeah.
No, I'm on board with you. He needs the 9th gate now. Open the 9th gate.
There's something apocalyptic about it, yeah. All right, there's going to be a drop over here into the main. And I think Effort is got the right idea, unless this is a fake, which would also be probably.
Yeah, it seems like it's a fake.
He knows that if the push comes too quickly, and that's enough height, that's enough there where you might think that, is this one fake
Look at
too?
that. Yeah, that one's fake too. That one's like, hey, those were fakes, so that this one would get Lurkers into your mineral line.
Well, the thing is, if Protoss doesn't respond to that,
Yeah.
they can end up losing the game that they've won. You have 2 Lurkers will wipe out your entire worker line.
Yeah, in like one volley.
You know, it's kind of like PvT and the storm drops, where like, you know, Terran might only have 3 bases, so if you were to storm drop any location and kill the SCVs, you've killed off probably a third of all their workers.
Dude, I have PTSD from that. Don't bring that up right now. That was hours ago, Tasteless. Yeah, look at this. Effort is really being pushed back. Snow putting out such a masterful game here, and now he has a lot of Dragoons, +1 attack, +2 armor, which is super cool to see. And he wants to push forward here. A little counterattack here with the Hydras. Trying to target down the Nexus. Is he going to get the Nexus?
I think he's not. Just barely saves
yeah.
it. Effort may have stabilized, though. That little drop where he threw away a couple Overlords actually might allow him to survive this attack.
You think it slowed him down that much that it's like he would have died, but now he might win?
Well, he's not going to die to this push, more importantly, considering how devastating that attack was by Snow early on.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice snipe here on the Templars. Runs in, gets some, and gets away.
Oh, wow. Great storms go down, and a ton of Hydras end up falling there for Effort. Has to back up once again. This is a lot of Dragoons, but he does have some Lurkers on high ground. Microing these Hydras back and forth, trying to pick off some of the High Templars, and he's getting some. but he's bleeding off a lot of units himself.
Yeah, the problem for the Protoss is that Dragoons are terrible at firing up ramps, and Lurkers are fine below or above a ramp.
Yes.
They're just good. They don't suffer from this.
That's actually
things
true.
that-
Yeah, because it's splash damage.
Yeah. So it's just like it's a non-issue here.
They don't miss.
Yeah, they don't miss.
That's a good point, Tasteless. I never really thought of that.
Yeah. So if you see Lurkers on a ramp, even if you have like 2 control groups of Dragoons, you have to think twice about it.
Oh, look at this. He's actually running up and going after this CC again. But the storms are too much. Oh, my God.
I can't believe he actually kept that alive.
Okay, so the Hydra's couldn't get it. The Mass Lurker run up and burrow couldn't get it. I want to check his main base. We need a Greater Spire. If
Yes,
he's
right.
going to get this, it needs to be Guardians.
Yes, he needs a Guardian to snipe that down.
He needs to drop a Defiler, do Plague, and then Cracklings need to come in to finish it off.
Okay. I don't know that there's any Lurkers here. I don't see them. I think he actually moved them to the top or the 3 o'clock spot. And I think that now we might see the Protoss coming with a push. Look at the patience he observes here. Until he sees a Lurker spike, he's not going to go too far forward.
Really smart. He starts to bring them now, and GG is called. Snow going to take the game. And wow.
A great beginning of that match. That was so exciting to cast. But yeah, he held it very well, and from there he just had a strong push. He played it out. He punished effort.
Tasteless. I was saying at the beginning that I thought that Bisu and Effort would advance, but they're in the loser match now. You know what that means? All kings must die. My God.
Yeah.
Larva versus Snow next.
This is going to be cool. Yeah, it's the newer generation. It's going to be fighting it out. The older generation of players
Yeah.
will be fighting to stay in this group.
The guys that have won championships, you're in the loser match.
Yeah.
The guys that try to really hard and can't do it, all right, one of you's going to the round of 8.
Man. All right. Well, what a
That was a
fun
wild game.
match that was. It goes to show you how different PvZ can get. Snow is going to the winner's match, and we will be having a best of 3 here with Snow versus Larva.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Who do you think takes that one, Tasteless? Snow or Larva?
I think Snow does.
I kind of feel that
Right?
way, too. He looked fantastic.
He looks very
against Effort.
strong. Yeah.
Very solid stuff. All right, guys, we are going to jump to that quick commercial break, and yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
자, 이몽규 선수와 함께하는 키워드 토크 시간입니다. 안녕하세요. 잘 지내셨나요?
제가 뭐 항상 방송의 노예가 돼가지고
하이미가 그렇게 예쁘게 또 잘 크고 있다는 소식을 제가 SNS를 통해서 접하고 있습니다. 솔직히 하이미가 월급의 반은 벌어다 주는 거 아닙니까?
거의
효녀야, 효녀.
유튜브 지분의 한 80% 정도를 뭐 집 하나 사주려고요.
힙합.
네네.
본인의 랩에 대해서 좀 냉정한 평가를 해주세요.
제 랩이요? 그냥 랩을 좋아하는 사람이에요. 부르는 게 아니고 정말 좋아하는 사람이기 때문에
딜리버리가 약한 것 같아요? 아니면 플로우가 약한 것 같아요?
저 발음이 약간 뭔가 저는 아나운서분들 대단하다고 생각하는 게 말하는데 혀가 안 굴르더라고요 그냥.
혀가 부르니까 말을 하죠.
아니 뭐라고 해야 되지?
그게 무슨 말이야?
네. 발음이 딱 정확하게.
문제가 아니야 지금.
어이가 문제인가? 홍짜르트.
홍짜르트. 이 홍짜르트의 그 음악적 소울에 영감을 주는 지휘자님인가요?
알파고 선수라고 김성현 선수가
네.
있었거든요. 근데 요새는 또 그나마 뭐 남은 사람이 영호 형? 근데 이제 영호 형도 군대가 또 얼마 안 남았잖아요. 저를 연주해줄 사람이 없습니다.
연주해줄 사람이 없다.
요즘 좀 재미가 없어요, 방송적으로. 나를 짜증나게 하는 사람이 없다는 느낌?
그러면 지금 사실 이몽규 선수가 죽음의 조 만들기로 굉장히 좀 정평이 나 있는 선수인데 그러면 누굴 뽑을까?
대회에서 태경이 형은 이긴 적이 많이 없어요.
네.
그래가지고 뭔가 이번에는 꼭 뭔가 이겨가지고 이미지를 좀 탈바꿈해야 되지 않나.
이번 시즌 목표가 어때요?
오늘 하루가 마지막이라는 그런 생각으로 항상 마지막으로 우승을 하고 또 그만두는 게 낫잖아요.
그쵸.
그만두자는 아니에요.
안 되지, 안 되지. 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다.
맨 위에 있는 거.
여자친구가 예를 들어서 나 얼만큼 사랑해? 라고 물어본다면 김정우 선수의 대답은?
너보다
스윗해. 여자친구가 어느 날 김정우 선수 왔어요. 오빠 나 너무 우울해서 치킨 시켰어.
우울해서 치킨 시켰다.
이렇게 대답하나요?
좀 당황스러워.
뭐 어떤 성향은 왜 우울한데? 이렇게 물어보는 사람도 있고 어떤 분들은 무슨 치킨 시켰는데? 라고 물어보는 사람도 있는데 김정우 선수는 우울해서 치킨을 시켰다고? 라고 말하는 타입으로 밝혀졌습니다. 자, 돈. 좀 관리를 어떻게 하고 계세요?
돈은 뭐 이제 그러니까 먹고 살 정도만 있으면은 괜찮다라는 마인드라서
네.
뭐 여기저기 투자도 해보고.
수익률은 어떠세요?
원래 안 좋았는데
네.
좋았는데 좋아졌어요.
좋아졌어요? 부럽네요. 제가 수익률이 지금 바닥을 치고 있거든요.
아니 진짜로 투자하셨나요?
저도 살짝쿵 발을 담가봤는데 아주 엉망진창입니다. 있어요?
제가 해봤는데
네.
존버가 답이에요.
존버가 답입니까? 알겠습니다. 이번 시즌 진짜 기대 많이 하고 있어요. 파이팅 하시길 바랍니다.
뽑으면 되죠?
네! 포스티즈.
사실상 거의 이제 해체 수순이라서. 이거요.
리버.
리버요.
장윤철과 리버는 또 뗄래야 뗄 수가 없죠.
이게 근데 이것만 좀 의식해서 쓰게 되는 거 있잖아요.
그쵸.
그래서 어쩔 때는 마이너스를 되게 많이 받아요. 그래서 좀 고민이에요. 이거에 너무 리버만 쓴다.
잘 쓰는 걸 어떻게 해요?
그렇죠. 근데 제일 자신 있으니까 또 안 쓰기도 좀 그래요.
그러니까요.
이거 안 썼다가 괜히 지면은 썼으면 이겼을 수도 있는데 약간 그런 생각도 들 수 있잖아요.
해외 팬분들도 진짜 장윤철 선수의 리버는 인정한다고 아까 또 그랬잖아요.
A lot of foreigners think that Snow has a really fantastic, very good reverb micro.
그리고 뭐 자기만의 그 유닛이 있는 것 자체가 엄청 대단한 것 같아요. 그래서 되게 만족스러워요.
네. 해외 팬분들한테 좀 감사의 인사를 좀 해주세요. 인정.
땡큐.
택신. 김태경 선수가 이겼을 때 채팅창은 이응 시옷, 티읕 시옷 역시 택신.
맞아요.
많이 올라오잖아요.
네.
김태경 선수가 졌을 때는 용택이.
맞아요. 근데 제가 말씀드리고 싶은 게 이제 원래 택신이라는 별명이 못해가지고 생긴 별명이에요. 졌을 때 역시 택신이 역시나 졌구나 하면서 역시 택신을 쳤던.
그쵸. 약간 그 이중적인 의미가 있죠.
네, 원래 그랬었는데 이제는 이길 때는 이제 이렇게 쳐주고 질 때는 뭐 용택이보다는 그냥 욕밖에 안 하시더라고요. 그래서
박완규.
최근에도 이제 연락이 자주 오셔요. 택신 여자랑 합방 말고 좀 ASL 좀 잘 좀 해줬으면 좋겠다. 유튜브를 많이 보시더라고요. 그래가지고 좀 보시고 많이 피드백을 많이 해주시는데
진짜 합방 좀 그만하라고 하신 거예요?
예, 너무 군냄새를 많이 맡는다고 그러더라고요.
김태경 선수가 이제 16강에 가면 김명훈 선수의 좀 선택을 받고 싶다라고 얘기를 했는데 만약에 본인에게 선택권이 있다면 또 어떤 선수를 좀?
제가 명훈이랑 하고 싶은 것보다 저도 이제 찍고 싶더라고요. 맨날 이제 마지막에 뽑혀서 제가 지명을 못했거든요.
김태경 선수가 또 4강을 목표로 이번 시즌 임하신다고 하니까 또 16강에서도 멋진 모습 한번 기대해 보겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to go into the match which will decide which player advances to the round of 8. This is, as we were mentioning earlier, it's funny, this is sort of the newer generation
kind of
competing where the older generation is going to be in the elimination match. Bisu versus Effort is after this best of 3, and I mean, that could have been a match from 13 years ago.
It was a match from the Vance Star League Finals.
That's right.
And definitely from 13 years ago multiple times. Yeah. No doubt about that. But Snow and Larva have put in their due diligence. They are in great shape. I think both of them played extremely good games. Snow blocked Effort's aggression, and Larva played the most calm, nice, reactive Zerg versus Protoss against Bisu that I've seen in a long time. They both look awesome.
Yeah.
So who wins? You were saying Snow before, but now that I've re-described Larva's game, I'm going to Larva.
I mean, he could absolutely do it, for sure. It's going to be an extremely close match. And yeah, honestly, I'm not really sure who comes out on top. I think Snow, but that might be me fanboying a little bit. Where, you know, I like watching his games and stuff. Larva's very tricky, though. He's also, I think, out of all the Zergs, very good at a best of 3.
Oh, okay. He's kind of brainy. He's a smart player.
All right, guys, our game is loaded up. It is Larva versus Snow in a best of 3 to decide who will advance to the round of 8 here in the ASL.
All right, so we are on Ascension. And down in the bottom left, we're going to have Larva. There he is. Mask on. Up at 12 o'clock, we have Snow. There he is. No mask on.
Mask off.
He's showing that sometimes Protosses do have mouths.
So, on this map here, let's see how Snow opens. I mean, you know, Snow is very different from Mini. We've seen Mini a lot of times do these quirky 2-gate builds or 1-gate builds. Snow has always struck me as a guy who just does the strong, fast expand builds. And doesn't seem to want to do too many mind game plays either early on. Just wants to play a solid macro build, power up, and push.
Yeah.
And I think that's from his background of being an extremely strong PvT player.
Makes sense,
If you're going to be a great PvT player, I mean, you could cheese for sure, but you can't beat a Terran without solid macro in so many points of time in the game and controlling the map and playing like that. So
I feel like when Snow started to get much better at PvZ, when he started actually winning a bunch of games, I felt like his mid-game really peaked up, where he got very good after the 7 to 8 gateways of where to run around and when to expand. I felt like that for a while. It felt like to me that he was one of the better Protosses at that in the world. He was really doing a fantastic job in a lot of games where we're seeing other Protosses like screw up and lose their army. He's actually like retreating and running in from the side and keeping Zerg busy and taking a 3rd base and a 4th base sometimes.
It's a good point. I mean, we had a lot of periods where the Protosses would try to push and they would just lose all their stuff. And it's like, all right, well, now you've given up the game here, where I think Snow is somebody who's better at identifying that the push is not worthwhile, or he should at least even just try to reposition his army. And I think so much of PvZ is about that, is, you know, you can build up to an extremely strong army, but if you lose all that, it's very hard to recover. It's usually a pretty straightforward game for the Zerg to just then outgrow you.
You know, definitely there's some similarities in Protoss vs. Zerg and Protoss vs. Terran in that way, right? Where you kind of have to build up the sophistication of your army and make sure that you can retain some of that to really fight against the swarm of your opponent. It looks like the probe does a little bit of harassment here. Larva's been more on top of it than really we saw from Effort. He brought 2 drones down to expand, for instance. Did go for that pool first, but not in an aggressive manner. Meanwhile, back at Snow's home, he does have his Nexus up. He's building his cannon, getting that gateway shortly thereafter. So everything looks pretty normal and pretty, you know, straightforward, really.
Yeah, I mean, this is your bread and butter PvZ to start things off. Really, we got to shift our attention now to Larva and see, is there going to be a den, or are we going to go into standard play?
Yeah, and
I don't think Larva will go for the den.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, we saw Snow hold on against Effort there for sure.
Yeah.
But also, the probe is still alive. It's still pretty healthy, right? It's only taken 1 hit as far as hull damage goes. So I don't think he's going to go for that. Also, I think Ascension is a longer rush distance than Horizontal on Polypoid, right?
I believe that's correct. I don't know for sure, but that
for
sounds
sure,
right.
For sure, it's closer than Horizontal Polypoid. It's got a big feel to it, this map.
Yeah.
Like, look at the 3rd base location. That's even further than the natural, so.
So, the probe, I mean, he doesn't know there's no den yet, but, I mean,
Just the longer you
Larva's-
keep it alive, it's less likely.
Right, exactly.
Like, you might see 2 Lings sitting there to prevent you from going in if he's going Hydralisk Den, for instance. Yeah, it looks like Larva just wants to drone up pretty heavily.
Here's
And
the Stargate.
Yeah.
All very standard. Larva's going to tech into a layer here to get a Spire. He'll have Scourge to try to match the Corsairs that are coming out. And then there's going to be many different decisions he can make from there onto what type of game he wants to have. And we will, unless there's some real plot twist and build order development here, Snow's going to get +1 attack, get Zealot speed, and just tech into a normal game.
Do you think it's more likely for him to go Zealot speed here, or is it more likely maybe a DT rush? Because it feels like standard games, it's a choice between the two as far as which one comes first.
DT's perfectly fine, too.
Yeah.
Second gate DT is
He does have the second gas, which makes me think, could it be... Does that, like, signal DT as opposed to the speed?
You're supposed to have the second gas by now.
Okay.
Even though you're not using it right away, you need it for Templars.
Mhm.
If you don't get the second gas pretty quickly, you'll have like 1 Templar. And it just, the price of Psystorm is 200 gas, 200 minerals. Templars is 150 gas. Everything's very gas intensive, so you pretty much always get that. I mean, I guess you could do something like not get a gas and then get Zealot speed and get like 5 gates and try to run out, but I don't think that develops very well. But DT tech is certainly acceptable.
All right, we'll see if he does go ahead and put that down. Let's see when the gates get added as well. The Corsair coming across the map for that very important scouting. Good wall in there. And I heard a building. I think it might have been a pylon.
So
I think you're right. I think it is legs.
Yeah, I think that's the build he wants to go for here. He, by the way, spots the Spire, and it's just going to be as standard of a PVZ as you could ask for.
Now he finds an Overlord in the
Yeah.
bottom corner. That's
Hiding
kind of nice.
Under the mini map.
Yeah.
Good catch there.
You'll never see me here.
Yeah. What could he possibly be attacking there?
Oh, it is Templar Archives.
Yep, Templar Archives very quickly, and actually +1 air weapons here too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically building his way into an extremely healthy Sarah DT with Zealots with speed will be coming here, and then of course Templars after that. Now the Zealots come out, as you can see, it's not a lot. He didn't throw down a bunch of gates to get a lot of Zealots out here, but it's enough that Zerg has to respect it. They have to make a sunken colony.
Yeah, cannon going up in the main base, and it looks like it's 6 hatch here for Larva. So definitely going to want to get into Hydras, right?
Yeah, definitely going to power up into that style here. We do have the threat of mutas later on, but if you're getting Corsairs with +1 attack, that becomes a lot harder to do.
And look at that, the Zealots with those legs getting in very, very quickly. Going down towards that third base. Oh, he's still making drones, going after a hatchery.
Yeah,
Is that what you want to do?
Here. Well, I mean, you just go for whatever you can get, right? I don't know why he's actually hitting just the hatchery. I think it would be better spent if he just split these up and hit a couple different locations.
Definitely feels that way.
This is much better. Yeah, I was scratching my head a little bit when he just committed on the hatchery.
Yeah, maybe he was looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
But the Zealots start to get cleaned up a little bit. He is trying to get some drone damage done. Picks off a couple Lings there. Does have that +1 attack. And good micro from Larva. For the most part, saving his drones.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far. But honestly, I think this is pretty good by Snow. Just get some kills in here, get some damage. The mutas can't attack you until they've cleaned that up. And you've got the Gateway Explosion kicking in now. The DT's coming out on the map. I don't know about where the Overlords are placed. It looks like everywhere should be safe. This is all very
does seem that way.
safely covered here.
Now, how heavily is Larva going to stay on these mutas? Like, he's going to switch out, right?
He has to, because an Archon's coming. There's already enough Corsairs. The Corsairs already have +1 attack, so they're actually just better than the mutas in general.
You know, if you recall, Tasteless, there was a season of KSL where Larva literally didn't make it in because he was so committed to going Ling Muta. He really does like it in the matchup.
Yeah.
And he's very good with it, but sometimes I get worried when I see him go for it. Like, here he's against, like, Archons and Corsairs, and it's like, okay, if this is all, like, Muta Scourge about to pop, I could see Snow just rolling him over here, right?
Yeah, for
Things
sure.
could go wrong.
Well, the combination of an Archon and Corsairs means the mutas don't really stand a chance in a fight, right? I mean, if mutas hold their ground at all, never mind the splash from the Corsairs, an Archon shot connecting to that.
Yeah.
Like, an Archon can beat 12 Mutalisks if they're stacked. Like,
It's such a funny thing.
Yeah, it's because of the splash damage. You know, Archons in general, they're not great units, In certain situations, they can be quite good though, like this.
Yeah, for sure. Now coming up, getting an Overlord, he made a ton of Scourge, right? So he definitely wants to eliminate all these Corsairs. Oh my god, and I guess he will, yeah. But he's going Mutas during, or Hydras during all this as well, so
yeah,
it looks like it wasn't a full commitment, but definitely wanted to reduce that Corsair count, which can help you out against the High Templars a bit later, right? You have more chance to actually snipe them.
I actually think Larva's playing an extremely strong game overall here. I mean, he's basically kept Snow at bay. I think Snow neglected his Corsairs for a little bit. When we saw the Scourge come in, you actually have to run.
Yeah.
And the Archon actually has slightly less range than the Mutas, so it's hard to catch them as long as Larva's doing his due diligence and he's staying on top of that Mutalist air army. He should be okay. But again, with the Archon not in the main here and the Corsair count quite low, this is what Larva's so well known for here, is he's punishing Muta Scourge plays.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, he gets another connection there, but can't get any more. Flies back over the cannons. I gotta say, I like what we're seeing out of Larva overall. Ooh, yeah, no, don't do that.
I almost choked on my water there.
Yeah. But I kind of like it, right? Like, the gas is not the limiting factor for Zerg at this point, and to keep Protoss this busy for this long with mostly Scourge, but also a few Mutas.
Yeah.
I've liked this. And now how many High Templars do we have? A couple with the army, but that's not that scary.
All right, nice Psy Storms here. He gets one more off and gets a second Archon. It's a pretty good army, to be honest. And this is what's nice about having the Archon with this, is it can catch Scourge like that. And when you have +1 attack, the Scourge just die.
Yes.
It's a very handy composition to have. The Corsairs are going to just barely avoid these Scourge, it looks like. Oh, just completely run.
Now, should he actually attack in here? This feels like this is not going to work. Look at that. The Lurker Egg actually screwing up his AI so much here. The Zealot's splitting absolutely everywhere. Now, this bottom right group will get on top of those Hydras and trade very efficiently.
The thing is, if you can kill that Lurker when it pops out, I mean, then, wow, okay. I think he does have to run, but, you know, he can set up for a pretty good push a little bit later on here. He needs Dragoons, though.
Yeah, right?
You cannot just have Templar Archon sell it. As strong as that may look, the threat of Mutas is too big. You can't really protect your Templars with just Archons.
You just can't get that hit. Oh, I was waiting. I was waiting for 30 times 12 damage.
And so, yeah, no, it's crazy if the Archon just gets 1 or 2 shots off, especially because damage is usually spread amongst all the Mutas.
Yeah.
It could be very, very difficult to deal with. These Lings do force a cancel. Nicely done here. And again, we're just seeing these Mutas deal damage over time. Without Dragoons, which basically make it impossible to get too close.
Yeah.
The Mutas are just too abusive.
Yeah, it's a really good point, right? Like, you don't have any damage going on these Mutas the whole time. So if Larva has the APM for it, which we see at 440 he does, then he can just continually deal that damage and push him back. Feels like his speed is really paying off here.
Oh, yeah. Now the third Nexus will go down. Larva is looking pretty fearsome, though. 130 supply and Lurker Hydra is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's close enough to Snows that I'm afraid for him.
Yeah. Now, if Larva tries to attack into this third, unless he can snipe Templars ahead of time, I think the Protoss should be okay. But 3 Dragoons is not the number you're looking for here. This is just not going to work for the Protoss because he's letting his Zealots commit, right?
Well, he's going to kill off the Lurkers. He does have that scary army.
I stand totally corrected here.
It seems like that was a little bit disjointed for Larva. He wasn't quite set up in the right spot. I think he was trying to get it, and Snow insta-hit him.
Yeah, Lurkers are a little bit like siege tanks, where if you can just kind of get them when they're en route, you can punish them pretty heavily. And I think that's what we saw back there. Nicely done by him. And now we're going to have a push. Doesn't appear that there's any kind of counterattack play here from Larva. And, I mean, we are getting to the point where their supplies are both so high. One thing about this map that I've always noticed is this high ground area, the darkened area of the map. It's like this kind of gray, dark blue, just north of that screenshot there.
Yeah.
Lurkers are so strong up there.
Yeah,
it's just a very hard position to push into.
Well, he is just pushing before we really have Lurkers set up anywhere, isn't he? I think Larva's high ground above his 3rd and 4th base, yeah, it's reasonably set up. He has some Lurkers up there and a ton. And you can't really go through this little hole, right?
I think he says.
Oh, I
otherwise.
don't think you actually can. I think that's a terrible move.
Yeah, if he can fit his army through there before the lurkers get into position, maybe. But I think he thinks twice about it. Again, an easy way to lose this for Protoss is to throw your army away.
Yeah,
you spent the entire game building this up.
You can basically never go through a little choke like that. Like, I mean, you get so much damage. You're going in single file. It's so easy to get sandwiched.
When you have Dragoons and Archons, you pretty much can't.
Yeah.
They're too clunky. Archons are actually quite responsive. They're one of the most responsive units
that's
in the
true.
entire game, but Dragoons are not.
Yeah, Dragoons are pretty dumb.
So this is where it gets a little bit tricky here for the Protoss. I mean, do you try to push into this?
I don't think so.
I don't think
no,
so.
I think you're supposed to take a fourth base, Tasis.
I agree. I agree with you on this one.
Okay, because I thought for sure you'd be like, no, Artosis, this is what you're supposed to do.
You cross your fingers and you go for it, man.
You
What are
attack
talking
uphill
about?
with your goons. All right, throwing down some storms. It does look like he wants to attack uphill with his goons. Not sure that that's going to work. Throwing down the storms, though, I mean, those are really fantastic storms, but I think Larva is not going to be pushed off this hill, Tasteless. This is not the hill you want to die on.
No. I don't even know if this is the hill you want to fight on.
Seriously.
He's trying to chip away at this, and I just don't think this is going to last that long.
Yeah.
I mean, there are Hydras set up for a counterattack here, so I think right when Protoss thinks, oh, I can probably actually tip the scale in my favor here and move in, he's going to get flanked from behind here. Storm almost not even hitting anything, I think.
Well, I mean, I like a little bit of micro, like trying to poke in and everything. He's getting these fantastic storms. I think right now exactly what we're seeing out of Snow is good, but he's got to be careful because, look, we might see a giant flank come in with all those Hydras that we saw in the middle of the map. And if we see that flank and he actually, like, your Dragoon-based army will get eaten alive.
Yeah.
You cannot allow that to occur.
He's driving these mutas back. Now, this was the army I wanted to see Larva use.
Yeah.
Is suddenly, this is an army that could actually take a huge fight. And I don't think there's any more Templars down here. Am I correct about that? Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has any left. It seems like he made Archons out of them.
Yeah, which means that actually this Hydra army can be a threat.
I think this is only a piece of it, though.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
He needs the flank to get off on this, and he actually might get it because those Hydras are partially on high ground. The Dragoon's actually having a hard time breaking through quickly enough. The flank comes up against Snow. He starts using move commands here to get away from those and just take it on one side. A nice storm comes down. Another support storm right there. Beautifully done.
If once you have just Dragoons and Templars, you know that you don't have an army that can be on the middle of the map for much longer. You need to get out of there. If you don't have Zealots to tank, it's going to be a hard time. And that was a pretty big victory there by Larva. I know that Snow is pushing back, but you know, when you have just a few Hydras versus Zealots and Dragoons, you can get your Lurkers back pretty quickly. It takes the Protoss a little while to get the Templar out of the gateway and get it down to where it needs to be.
Now, Tasteless, I kind of hope that this slows for 1 second because I really want to ask you about something in the game. Yeah, I think it's going to slow, right? Because he has Lurkers burrowed all over the place. And we talked about this a long time ago because we saw it like once before or twice before, but Snow went for 1 attack and then 2 armor upgrades.
Right.
What is the deal with these second? I get the first armor upgrade with Zealot against Hydra, but what is with the second armor
It's
upgrade?
just to keep the Templars alive longer. If they have mutas out on the map, you know, even Hydra's sniping Templars. Templars sometimes can get away if they can just be a little bit more tanky.
Huh. So it's actually for the Templars, not for like the Zealots or anything. Well, obviously it helps everything, but
it does help everything, right?
But that's
I
the thought.
think the main idea is to get the Templars to be just a little bit stronger because there's so many moments where you could have saved a Templar because it had like 1 more shot.
Yeah, that's very interesting, though, especially over the +2 attack because everything gets +2 for each attack upgrade.
Well,
anyways, just
is Zerg even getting armor though? I don't actually.
Yeah, he has 1. He has 1.
Okay, he has 1 armor. All right.
All right. Storm's going down. The Snow can't break through there quite yet. But yeah, that's really interesting, Tasteless. Maybe just because it's more about how much damage Zerg is dealing to you rather than you dealing to Zerg. Because we actually do that with mech against Zerg too, is get armor first a lot of the time. Not every time, but anyways. It's a very interesting.
Well, I think the idea is that if you get good storms off, you can actually kill a Zerg.
Yeah,
and so I mean, a lot of times you're not even microing the rest of your army that much as you are just blanketing storms. Like we're seeing here. I mean, he's just A-moving, and then carefully clicking.
Totally.
It's actually a moment where your APM sometimes needs to slow down.
Mm.
You need to actually wait and get the right storm and set it up correctly here. So this is a great play here to have the shuttle dropping. It's just enough units that Zerg has to really react and respect the drop. And the way that Protoss is expanded here towards the main of Zerg is great, because it makes it so that there's not really that much area between there and the main, and you can always be dropping that.
Yeah,
There's always value to take
That's
out the
cool.
main.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. And it doesn't do that much damage that time, but look at this. He's poking in. He's clearing some of this stuff out. Oh, Zergling's trying to take it out of that Morphing Archon, and they will, but nice storms going down on top of them. It seems to me like Snow is playing a very good game. Oh, no, I don't think he'll quite get the hatch, but it also feels to me like Larva might be getting slightly ahead over time here.
I think Larva's in a better position.
Right?
If he can keep the lurker stuff up.
Yeah.
Basically, when you get enough gas, you can get so many lurkers. We're into very late game here, so these are going to be cracklings. Or they're not yet, but they will be soon here.
He should be getting Defiler soon too, right?
Yeah, of course, for sure. I mean, but Defiler, crackling, lurker, I mean, it's really hard to deal with the Protoss. And if they don't have the right setups for the fight, they just lose. You know, like if you have just cannons and a Nexus somewhere, you will just lose that to hardly anything.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, Crackling Defiler is one of the silliest things in the whole world. It's like, it's really good against, and then it's like a blank space. It's like a Mad Libs. Just say whatever you want, because it's good against that as well.
It just kills
It's really
so
good
much
against
stuff.
mass carriers, battle cruisers, Zerg players, anything that you, basically everything in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest thing.
So Protoss needs to break this position, and he might be able to do it. He's at the very top of this triangular area here in the middle. He's going to be pushed back. It can be misleading, by the way, to people that don't play a lot of Brood War. There is a high ground and low ground here in the middle.
Yeah, there is.
It looks like it's just flat terrain that's differently colored, but the darker areas are low ground, the lighter areas are high ground. This is insane, dude.
Yeah.
What am I seeing here?
No, he's getting a lot of damage with 2 Zealots
Where are
right
the
now.
Scourge from, like, the start of the game that could have just killed this? I think Larva's
They're
had
gone.
a bit of a brain fart here.
Maybe.
Unless the Spire was killed and we missed that.
Yeah,
like, there's no reason to not just make a set of Scourge. This is one of the only ways that Zergs can lose in a later game like this, is if Protoss can drop DTs and Zealots.
He's gotten some great damage there. It looks like a little Zealot counterattack going through the little tiny choke as well. There are some Hydras and Sunks there, so I don't think it'll go too far, but starts to soften up maybe for later. Some Storms going down in the center as he tries to break through the top of the triangle once again.
Yeah, and again, he's got to be careful with the Zealots. It's okay for Zealots to fight 1 or 2 lurkers, but if they get bunched up and there's just a line, they will die. So this big lurker wall, this is like the big line of defense that Larva has. But I don't see Hydras here.
Yeah.
And you need stuff like Lings and Hydras here to kind of interfere with the surface area, because the lurkers are the real damage dealers.
This is an amazing battle that we're seeing. Finally, the first Defiler enters into the game. Don't know. Okay, Consume is ready. Actually eats an Overlord. May as well. And look at this. He's going after the Defiler. Send your whole army. Of course, the Defiler won't die to that.
Yeah, he's like, where's that? Oh, I'll just put a Dark Swarm in a place that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a little bit of misplay there.
What was that Dark Swarm?
I think Larva's being broken right now.
Yeah, no, he seems like he's kind of lost focus in this game. I mean, especially with that shuttle that was just like, it was in that area for, I think, over 2 minutes.
It was a
just like,
while, doing a lot of damage.
And I think a moment like that is extremely frustrating, because he's played a pretty much perfect game up until this moment. And now Zerg's lost control of the hub in the center of the map.
And look how many Archons there are in here.
Yeah.
Those Lings, it's like a mostly Zergling army trying to attack.
If you see this many Archons, it means the Protoss has done a really good job keeping the core of the army alive, because those were all Templars that shot Psystorms. GG.
Wow. What a game one. That was insane. What a back and forth, really macro play. It felt like they both really played their styles and just kind of had a battle of wills there. But yeah, there was a couple moments with Larva where he was taking a bit more harassment damage that maybe he should have, and didn't quite reinforce the center enough. And Snow just broke through, but masterfully done.
You know, honestly, I mean, we're talking about the macro players of the matchup, right? I think Larva played a great game. Snow made the shuttle, and I mean, it's a good move by Snow because at that point in time in the game, you're juggling so much. And I think anybody who's played StarCraft has had this moment at any level where something goes wrong and you know that you know better and that this shouldn't be an issue. And the fact that there were no Scourge to prep, especially when you see Protoss expanding towards your side, that expansion, because it clears out that area. I mean, if the Zerg had cleared that area, they cleared out the base, essentially. You know you can shuttle DTs into the main. You know you can drop Zealots in there. It's easy.
Yeah.
And the fact that we saw a Larva have tons of Scourge the whole game until he needed it at the end, I think he sort of fell apart. Let's see if he can pull it back together. We're going into Game 2 right now. Snow with a 1-0 lead versus Larva. Ultimate Stream.
And here we go, Larva in the bottom left. And Snow in the top right. An Ultimate Stream, this is the map that is kind of reminiscent of the old Katrina map where you have your natural up a ramp on the same level as your main base. So a little bit easier to defend things like Hydra attacks, much less likely to get a Hydra bust going, and especially in cross spawns, it will just literally never happen.
And maps like this change a lot of the ways that Protoss get to play. You know, for one, the Hydra bust is not a threat, and I think it's always fair to say that I think out of all the builds in the entire game, one of the strongest ones is the Hydra bust. It's also not that hard to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that you don't have to be completely ready to get bodied by the Hydra bust because you have a high ground area is very nice for Protoss. It is a map, though, where Turtling becomes a real threat here, a Turtling Zerg. Let's say, and this has gone in and out of popularity, but a Zerg taking the third hatchery or the third base at another starting point's natural has always been strong because it allows for a free fourth base, and a fourth base that really can't be attacked. It lets the Zerg turtle up in two areas. Now, imagine you took a natural on this map. You can turtle on high ground. That's insane. And you get another base that's also on high ground. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a factor here, but it's just something I want to point out because PvZ, a lot of times you have games like the last one we saw, which is a back-and-forth fight with armies fighting lurkers and you know, Storm going down on Hydras and Hydra sniping Templars. And then you can have PvZs where it's like the Zerg is sitting there with Sunks and Lurkers and a Spore. And the Protoss, conversely, can also do something similar where it's Cannons and Reavers and Templars. And neither side can really break the other's position. And they're two entirely different games at that point in time.
Yeah, certainly are. And like, I would love to see what you're describing. And in fact, it is for a long time it was Larva's style. Like, for instance, he and Sulky both did that kind of turtle up the third base.
I'm sorry, man. What did he pool on? I wasn't actually looking.
I was staring at you while
I was
passionately
while we held hands and looked at each other's eyes and talked about the way the matchup works. This is clearly very early pool. Sorry, everyone. I think that the cannons are going to finish just barely, but I don't know if he can block off all these lings. He does. A miraculous hold there.
Miraculous.
Let me tell you something, man. If you're Protoss and you hold that, you feel amazing.
Yeah.
So that might have been a pool on 9.
Yeah, it had to be a 9 pool, or I think it had to be because I don't think Overpool would get there that quickly.
Yeah, 9 or 7, I think. But basically, because a lot of Protosses have been really greedy on this map, sometimes you can just get there and kill them.
Well, he doesn't get him this time, but he is going for that hatchery that you were talking about before, Taste said, another natural. And, you know, I was mentioning before, this was, for a very long time, it was more stylish a few years ago. More recently, and I think it's a combination of the maps as well as the metagame, it's gone away from that to where you take kind of a closer third base and play like a 6-hatch type of play. But, yeah, with this one, I think we will see Larva's older style of turtling up a lot more. Now, the one thing that I'm nervous about with him trying something like this, because they're cross spawns, that base he's taken is actually closer to Snow than it is to Larva travel distance.
Yeah.
So that makes me nervous, but also the big main base of it is very droppable for Snow.
Very true, Artos.
So
Very,
I
very
don't
true.
know if this is the strat for this map in these spawns.
Well, let me think here. Yeah, it probably would have been better to do it in the other spot, right?
It feels that way to me.
I mean, he might still deal with it okay anyways, but I think your analysis is actually basically right. It seems like the bottom right natural is better.
Yeah.
If they're in the top right.
Yeah. It's just you can't really get a shuttle into the main base for free that way. Here, you have so much surface area to try to defend.
Yeah.
It seems like a fool's errand, but I guess we'll see. And this one Zealot actually going to cause a bit of a problem. He has to send some more Lings up. Larva will be all right. I don't think he's going to lose a drone or anything, so that's important.
And the second Zealot's going to come across. Now, his Zealot slow drip is extremely strong against a Zerg who's playing in two different naturals. It's hard to balance out both areas. Although this Zealot doesn't seem like it's going to do that much. If he targets down the weaker Lings, it's going to be great.
Two of the Lings have only one hit left, so he's going to...
Ooh! Droney McBugbug guy. Okay.
Yeah. Can the drone not shoot through the minerals on that? I know a probe could.
No, a probe could. Probe is like 5 range, right? I mean,
probe has slightly more range than an Archon.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a siege tank and a Dragoon with range. I'm not sure. I don't know if a drone can fire through there.
I don't think it can because people always stand their Zealot there and no one fires. I can't be the first one to have thought of this.
I was going to say, if it could, we would just see it.
Yeah.
But I think also you can just nudge the Zealot to the left.
Oh, probably.
And it's still basically fine. It's hard to emphasize how much of a headache for the Zerg it is to have a Zealot behind the minerals.
Yeah. It is highly annoying.
Yeah. And some people have asked me on my stream, like, can't they just make a sunken colony and hit it? It's like, yeah, I mean, if they want to lose a drone and spend the money,
sunken,
and then I'll attack out right before it finishes.
It's 175 minerals total for a sunk.
Minus 1 drone too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, So, excuse me. The game is now going to go to Protoss making Corsairs. And keep in mind, I do want to say, if this wasn't this map, I would still be mentioning we could have a Hydra bust. Sometimes a good way to trick a Protoss is to set this up, because when Protoss sees this, they know they're already in a completely different game.
Yeah.
And then Hydra bust, but they can't because this map, you start out on the high ground.
Now, when you see this as a Protoss, I feel like the first thing the Protoss should be thinking is like, okay, how quickly can I take my third base, right? Because you're never going to break them, right?
Well, I don't think so, man.
You should.
I mean, every once in a while I see somebody break them, and I'm like, you beautiful, beautiful person. Like, how did you do that?
I look at that and I say,
what was that joke
dummy, that shouldn't have worked.
What is that joke Noni had? Like, actually the hardest thing in the entire game is trying to not lose an observer to a spore.
Yes.
When you're pushing it into a place.
But I don't think he meant it. I don't think he meant it as a joke, Tasteless. I think he was completely serious on that one.
He's like, there's literally nothing that I think is harder than trying to do. And it's crazy. It's really hard to keep control of the observer.
Spores shoot quick, man.
They shoot
it's pretty
quick.
crazy,
They
actually.
have crazy range. They shoot quick. The observer has like 120 vision.
Well, the few mutas are out here with some Scourge. +1 speed lots running around for Snow.
The Muta setup, if they're going to go for the turtle style like we have here, is pretty good. Okay, so this is what you were talking about, Artosis, and you basically nailed it. Is like, this is droppable.
Yeah.
Guys, Snow could not have done this if this was the bottom right, or it would be much harder to actually get this over here.
It would be so dangerous to do.
So the idea is the DT comes in, he's going to wait for it to finish. You dirt bag.
Yeah, the cancel is too easy, Tasteless. He wants him to really feel it.
Oh, it's filthy.
It is filthy.
We've mentioned this in cast before, where sometimes it's better to let it finish because you can kill it. It's very rare that that's actually true. It's true here.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, so I'm going to kill you.
You have to really know it. In
Here we
fact,
go.
I'm a little bit nervous for him. What if he just pops an Overlord?
Or he could wait for the drones to be transferred, kill the drones, and then go for the hatchery.
Oh, boy. We just keep getting dirtier.
Yeah. How dirty can we be?
Muta's and Scourge flying around. He actually went into Reaver, so this is actually
cool.
like DT drop into Reaver. This is very neat from Snow.
My thoughts are racing here. You know, because the map is so. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I got confused about which DT this was. Because the Reaver play here is. Let me rephrase this. It's such a turtley map. He's playing a completely different PvZ. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Okay. You got it out, Tasteless.
I did. It was hard. It was not easy.
No.
I almost had to finger paint it just to try to explain my feelings that way. But okay, this is so good because now he's going to kill the drones, at least 2.
He instantly sees it though. That was pretty clutch by Larva. A lot of times you just don't see it until it hits something that's not a drone.
There's no Overlord speed, right?
No.
Oh, but there's Overlord.
Yeah. There's no Overlord speed, but there's Overlord. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And now there's Overlord speed.
Yeah.
Overlord.
This is the joke that broke Artosis.
That's good.
It's really. I'm glad you like that.
It's just the way that we speak as StarCraft players. It's like, oh, did he have OV speed? No, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's like, everything that means, but like, we don't have anything for like, no. There was just an Overlord there.
Yeah.
There was Overlord. That's so funny.
So, oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Okay. He's fine, Tasteless. Calm down. So Archon
at 2, go.
I love that there is an Archon going with this Corsair Reaver Speedlot DT. What the hell is Snow doing right now? Oh, another DT in the main. Is that the same one?
Is that the same one? I think
it might be. Overlord couldn't do it.
Overlord.
I was going to try to attack with these uphill.
No. Yeah.
Oh my God, Tasteless.
Oh my God, how did that... Okay. Not even trying to play-by-play this because everything that's happening is so unexpected.
I've never seen anything that quite looks like this.
Well, I think,
and now it's
a real idea of why you can't push into Zerg turtled areas. The funny thing about Zerg is that although their units are pretty brittle, their buildings are ridiculous. Target colonies are actually really beefy.
Yeah, it's hard to break them.
Eggs are, for all intensive purposes, invincible when Zealots are in the game. And so you just can't get through the Sim City.
Okay, Tasteless, I gotta ask a question here. Now, do you think that Snow has a fleet beacon?
Are you trying to talk about D-Web?
No.
D-Web?
No, I just figured because he's already gone Speedlots, Dragoons, Shuttle, Reaver, Corsair, Archon, that there was one other building he might not have. So I'm just trying to check if he would have that on 2 base.
To be totally honest with you, I would almost like D-Web in certain moments here.
Well, I mean, it would shut down the static, I guess.
You know?
But he's killed a lot of Corsairs and now gone back into Mutas here. Dragoon's not going to be able to hold on against that. Look at that. Just skips over them. Couple Corsairs coming.
Wouldn't it be cool if he did one with D-Web? And we're like, how do you do it, Snow? And then he takes his shoes off and he's got wet feet. We're like, whoa.
Is that why D-Web is good?
Gross,
or
cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it because he's an alien?
It was just
he's a fish person?
Just something I was thinking about. I'm like, cool. I'm like, are you really good at swimming? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, that's cool.
He's like, I'm a gamer, man.
I'm a gamer, man.
I don't swim.
It's time for Tasteless to be right. And for
we've been waiting for 20 years.
Owes me an apology. All you guys on Instagram can fuck off when you make fun of me for the Dark Archons.
Oh my God. Well, he doesn't have Maelstrom yet. I don't think. Definitely not the energy.
He's hiding
Look
it, though.
at that.
That's so good.
Oh, because as soon as you see it, you play completely differently. Maelstrom is. You need to catch him off guard with this.
Yes. No, you're completely right. If they know it, they go, whoa. All right, we're gonna.
It's like, oh, I get it. This is your like last-ditch attempt to deal with these Mutas.
Look at them, they're laughing. They're like, haha, Blue Archon.
Oh, Blue Archon gets him twice.
He's pissed.
He's like, haha, Mutas.
Yeah. I'm really excited by the Archon.
Yeah, but it's 4 base against 2 base.
Are there any lurkers? Yeah, no, Protoss is in very bad condition. I'm like, this is no longer, look, the rules, here's the ASL rulebook. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. It says if you kill Mutas with,
no, he was 5
Maelstrom, then you get to win the whole ASL and we cancel the tournament.
But now that he's shown it, it probably won't even happen.
This is like Air Bud, where it's like, no one said a dog couldn't play.
There's no direct rule that says you have to be a human.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
But actually, it's not like that at all because there's a direct rule where if you make Maelstrom, you win the game.
Yeah.
Because you make
Right
Tasteless
there.
happy.
It's rule number 2 in the book. Crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was scary. I'm like, this recording just went down. Okay. He's going to push. Now, I'm sorry. Are there lurkers? I
don't
actually
know.
haven't seen any.
Dude, I don't know. There's a lot of sunks, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's no third base for
Yeah.
Snow. And he's behind in supply, but he does have the Dark Archon. So this will prove, if he wins this game, you were right all along, Tasteless.
Yeah. Ooh, good cancel. He's not. Now, again, if you get these Archons, or these Mutas, excuse me, catch him, I don't think that it's going to be one where he can swing it too hard yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
By the way, I do wonder if it would have been worth it to just kill the hatchery that was making.
Yeah, force the cancel.
I mean, because now the fourth base has been up for a while.
Yeah, he wanted so much damage. That's why you normally don't do that. Normally you just force the cancel. You say, okay, well, I'm ahead tempo-wise, if not value-wise there. And but yeah, if you like wait and then kill it, obviously that's a bit better. But he didn't get it, and there are lurkers, Tasteless. You see those little potholes? Those are lurkers.
What?
I know. I know you can never see them because all your observers die, so you don't actually know what they look like, but they're those potholes right there.
I've never actually seen a lurker. Man.
Yeah, you don't actually know what they look like,
I'm
bro.
like, they aren't the spikes that come out?
They are the spikes that come out.
All right, he's going to target down the
no! Well, I mean, that's
okay.
That's an okay
It's
Maelstrom.
not good at all. All right.
It's awesome,
He's
Tasteless.
frozen 2 Overlords, Tasteless. Now he was basically about to lose it, so he spammed it out. Now let's see why.
He's the deadest anyone's ever been, Tasteless.
Yeah.
No one has been as dead as Snow is right now.
Yeah. This game's over. Snow got completely.
Dude, yeah, no, this is
GG.
Oh my god, that was like Olaf at the end of Frozen, but Elsa did not use her magic to keep him around. Snow is gone.
We're tied up 1-1.
Whew. That was
And unfortunately,
very
he
impressive.
didn't catch the Mutas with the Maelstrom.
He did not do it, so he doesn't get to win ASL outright.
But don't forget, everybody watching, I was right that one time.
I think Snow did that for you, his #1 fan, because he's like, well, I'm dead, but this will help Tasteless.
Yeah. Let's do one for Tasteless.
Yeah. So, masterfully done there from Larva. Very, very impressive stuff. It's cool to see him play that map and be able to pull off that like slightly older style that he used to be playing so much. Also, I just like that he goes like Muta Scourge. It seems
hard to play
hard,
against.
yeah, and it seems hard to pull off as well, but he really does a very good job with it.
Larva definitely playing the map correctly. I think some lost opportunities there going back to the DT that let the hatchery finish. I think it's probably, and I mean, we could talk about this all day, right? But I think it might be better to just attack that and then use the Corsairs to fight off the Overlords and Mutas and just delay the third, and you're powered up on 2 bases, and you can go from there.
Yeah. Well, it was... Oh, I'll just be
Quiet,
let's go.
Artosis.
Let's just go.
We're going into game 2. No, game 3. What am I saying? Larva versus Snow. Again, the winner gets that 5th spot in the round of 8 of the ASL. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Filthy disconnector.
I'm going back to my childhood. I'm like, Mom, did you pick up the phone? Did you pick up the phone? I'm in a ladder game.
Yeah. No, that was painful back in the day of dial-up for sure. Someone picks up the phone, you just lag out, and it's like,
Yeah. So we're gonna be killing a little bit of time here.
Dude, I gotta
fix this.
Why did he go Reaver after the DT drop? It felt like he was getting himself into a good spot, and then he went Reaver also, and I'm like,
No.
Reavers can't shoot up ramps. They're so bad
You're
at it.
correct, but I think it would probably have been better to use Corsair Reaver to hit the 4th base.
The 4th base.
Yeah. But I think also the Zerg style kind of counters.
Yeah, he had too
that.
many
It's like,
Scourge.
You're kind of not expecting Muta Scourge there.
It just felt like he used so much gas that he didn't have enough gas to do anything, right? Like, he went DTs, and he went Reaver, and he went Corsairs. And then the mass Scourge Muta reduced the Corsair count, so he couldn't really do more drop harassment because Larva would just dominate it. So that makes me think, like, maybe if we just go 2 techs instead of 3 techs, we're much better off.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's worth it to go for the Reaver, but you got to make it work. And I think it really we have to go back to that DT. That was a problem. Okay, we're back into this. I wonder what happened.
Just a desync when you're starting the game. It happens sometimes in customs.
So now we go into our game. And this map you can turtle on too. I do want to put that out there. This is a style that's been popular from time to time. And it's got, I mean, I would say it's not as strong on this map as other maps, but certainly you can go for that. I'm mostly thinking about whether or not Larva's going to go for Mass Muta again. Muta Scourge.
Yeah, I do wonder about that, right? Like, but maybe it's time for him to do something else.
Or go full Ogre Zerg King. He's the king of all the Ogre Zerg
King.
Yeah.
King Ogre Zerg
King
Gamer.
Ogre Zerg Gamer. What do they fight with? 2 clubs. 1 in each hand.
It's like, wouldn't it be
Clubs
better
and
to have a
spikes.
shield or like swing a club with 2 hands?
But Ogre Zerg Gamer can smash twice as many Protoss brains with 2 clubs.
Guess so. Mutant.
Guess so. Mutant. I love calling people
mutants, man. That's my mutants and calling people Muppets when it's just so funny.
Yeah, they are. Those are good. Mutants. Oh, I normally, you know, I have similar lingo like calling people apes and stuff when they do. It's like ape move instead of attack move. But
I've been loving.
I like the mutant. That's good.
My stream is actually so fun and so chill, but every once in a while I just get some guy saying weird stuff, and I just imagine that this person looks like one of the monsters from The Hills Have Eyes, just like talking like this to me. Like, I'm like, all right, what's this guy doing here? How many more weird things will he say before I just ban him outright? I don't know.
It's so true. It's
Would
so true.
Reavers have helped their tasteless?
I'm like, I don't think they would have, my friend. Like,
yeah. No, that
almost
is a
got it.
funny thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I remember that from because I played a lot of StarCraft 2 Protoss, right? Where like when you die, they're like, Colossus, you should have gone Storm, and then when you go Storm and you die, they're like, Storm, you should have gone Colossus. It's like,
I've had games where I just die to a Hydra Bus. People are like, you needed Storm. I'm like, I can't have Storm yet. That's the problem.
I know, it's so funny. All right, it's a pull first from Larva. He's sending it up. It's a gateway opener. Forge coming up.
Okay, so we got to see how
I think
this is
he'll be
gonna
all right.
handled.
Yeah, he has 2 zealots.
He actually, sometimes you'll see people make not the Forge and just try to control the ramp, but I guess the ramp's kind of big on this.
Yeah, no, I think that this was the right choice. Yeah, brings out that second zealot immediately. Good micro from Snow.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. Like, saves the other zealot.
The micro part of this is hard, not because of the zealots, but because of the probe. As good as the probe is, it's somehow the worst thing ever against Lings because
Yeah.
they're so much more responsive. You basically just don't want to let him get inside, but I do want to go out on a limb here a little bit and say, is this a bit of an overcorrection here by Snow? Like, if he makes a cannon too, I just feel like, okay, the Zerg is going to get, 3 hatches up before your Nexus. Oh, he's going to go Nexus. Okay.
Yeah. I think he was ready and then decided he did not need it. Good solid micro. Like, if you keep making Lings and keep attacking the gate, I think you probably need a cannon there, right? Because any zealots that come out can get surrounded. But very well done by Snow. Does take some hits, but microing back. Gas on the way. And I like that he's still not putting down the cannon. He's pushing forward with his build.
Well, this is actually very well handled by Snow. I'm curious, though, because I've seen people that just block the ramp with a probe and a zealot and kind of just hold. They keep making zealots and make a Nexus, but...
Oh, instead of the Forge?
Yeah.
I think it's just too wide. I think everything's too far apart.
This
like,
map,
the ramp is very far from the gate and stuff.
Now...
And then also, if they really flood Lings, then you could lose that, right? Whereas in this case, he played it like basically perfectly. Even if there were Lings flooding, he could have made the cannon.
Yeah, I love the 2 zealots sent out here.
Yeah, he likes that too.
And
maybe you should cast with Snow and not with me, man. You guys love these 2 zealots so
love
much.
it. So there's actually not been a lot of Lings made here, so this will be dealt with. There's no drones, but again, it's not bad to send this out. Again, it keeps the Zerg honest. You can also check if a Hydra comes out of that hatch, for instance.
The Zergling's going to come down. Look at that positioning he has, actually. They cover each other, so you can't flank the Zealot. Really cool. Making a little arc so they can't pop out too easily. There's actually a fair amount of Lings out on the map, so definitely has enough. Layer going up in the natural here for Larva. And Stargate looks like pretty normal overall after the little scuffles and stuff that we've seen.
So he's going to come in here and slowly clean up these Zealots. Very well positioned, though.
I love the micro here from Snow, where he was like double targeting the ones on the bottom first, and then allowing the hits too, because then otherlings have to file in, and he's just missing hits.
Yeah.
Like every little tiny bit of this is being well done.
And it's a situation where the Protoss just gets slightly ahead. You've killed more Lings, and at this level of play, it's so important, of course. And so now we've got a Corsair on the way here. It is, again, 3-hatch layer with a Spire.
A lot of Speedlings running around. And, you know, I'm still kind of sitting here wondering if we're going to see actual Mutas pop out. Like, Larva has been making them each and every game. At least a few. And I think his play with it's just been immaculate, so I am hoping to see it. Corsair coming across. Sees plenty of Lings out there. We do already have 5 hatches going up. Huh?
The way he stopped it, I thought the game crashed.
Oh,
the Lings just froze moving. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. I wonder why you would hold position right there.
I don't know. I guess you don't want to get him too far along.
You don't want him to
front.
get aggroed into the wall or something, but like it's just like a weird
Well, I think you're keeping it ambiguous as how much is actually out there.
Well, he has a direct line of Zerglings. He like has almost a Congo line going back to his base, so he sees exactly where the Corsairs are going, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. As the game goes on, I want to see where the Protoss is going to push. What exactly are the ideas at play here? Seems like we're going to have more of a standard.
Oh my God. He's actually just going to go up and try to bust. Only a Zealot and a probe in the wall.
This is very high risk, very high reward, by the way. And it works. He gets in. That's huge.
Oh my God. He's actually going after the cannon right away, which means he's not going to get in the main base, I think. Right? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, God. No drill there from Snow to prevent the Lings from going in, but he has a cannon in the main.
I was wondering about this because a lot of times you just get a cannon just in case they do the all-in.
Yeah.
But he's basically fine. However, that pulls the Zealots back. I mean, he has to defend here, and so there's not much map presence.
Seems like he didn't get that many probes. What did he end up killing? 4 probes, 5 probes, something like that?
Yeah, it overall, I would say, was kind of a failure.
It felt like, slightly not that good.
Yeah, I think the mistake was actually that he went back up into the main. If he stayed there and tried to kill more workers at the natural, it could have been better.
I guess if no cannon is ready in the main, then that's a fantastic move, and he can't know for sure. All right, well, he has a sunken up over here. Mutas have been made. Zealots going out across the map. The Mutas actually going to fly past them. I believe those are the Mutas, or those Scourge that are flying past.
I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe they're Scourge, actually, because the Mutas are... Yeah, the Mutas are actually kind of being hidden behind the third.
So
yeah, they were Scourge. Okay.
Zerg's turtled up, but this is not going to be like Game 2. This will be a lot more like Game... actually, I guess it won't be like Game 1 really either. That was 5-hatch. Was that 5-hatch Lurker?
Yeah.
So it's been only PvP.
No,
here,
he went 6-hatch that
That's
game.
right.
That
Okay,
was
so
6-hatch.
this is going to be another 6-hatch game.
But yeah, he just went 6-hatch here. So DT coming out right now. Plenty of Corsairs being made. Okay, the Mutas are flying out. I think this is the first time he's actually going to see the Mutas, but it's Larva, so you kind of can look at it and be like, okay, they're...
Yeah, it's not that much of a surprise, really.
Yeah, he does like this style a lot. All right, Scourge coming up as well, a little bit apart. Now, the DT is walking around underneath the Mutalisks, so he kind of tracked them on the way back. Corsairs can get into a better position now to catch them. But look at that, he actually changes where he's flying. Look at this, the DT is just watching everything. The DT is like a scan on the Mutas nonstop.
Well, especially seeing the Scourge there, you become very, very wary of moving out unless you're completely prepared for this. He's even just using the one Muta to try to fish for information.
Yeah.
But this DT is
Dude,
like...
how is that DT everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing this out perfectly. And when you see that many Scourge, you know you have to get an Archon. The Archon has to cover the Corsairs. But when you get the Archon, then you can push out again. Oh man,
That
he's
was
got
a
to be careful.
lot of damage.
Yeah, you can moving shot with a group of Corsairs. So if the mutas are too close, just like if you're firing with Wraiths or something like that, like you can actually just get the kill.
All right, Larva hasn't found any damage yet. The DT actually sees the Hydra switch already in production here. Not a big surprise either. Definitely something he's been doing. Another cannon coming up. He does have a High Templar in there. That is a lot of Scourge.
It's kind of crazy to see Larva rely on this style so heavily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's actually going up to 9 gates right now, Tasteless. 9. He's getting the 9th gate, but no third base. Can you even support that?
I guess the answer is yeah, if he does it. I always thought 8 was the top, but apparently Snow feels that, yeah, 9 is actually the right number. You just squeeze out that last gate at the very, very end. I know he's got this mathed out perfectly. Also, one thing to keep in mind as well is because it's this style, the math comes out differently. Because you're fighting this Ogre Zerg Gamer approach here, that you actually probably don't end up needing to get the same kind of units you would be fighting. You'd be using if you had to get like Templars. And Dragoons, you know what I mean? You're not fighting Lurker Hydra, right? So it's sort of a different
Goons are
game.
more expensive. You can support more Zealot Templar.
A little bit more minerals and then gas too. So maybe that's why the 9th gate's there.
Okay. Moving forward now, it looks like he's setting up to possibly take a third as well. I love that placement of that Sunken. He's got everything set up to make this difficult. He's making Lurkers over on the side. 1 Lurker Egg in the front. Once again, look at how much that screws up the AI. It's actually crazy how much that does. Now, here we come with the Lurker flank. There are Size Storms, so he's got to watch out for that.
I mean, this is going to be it, man. He has to make this work. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's a big first storm, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
No, this is a disaster for Snow. I don't know why he did this. This will never work out. I mean, there's just too many Lurkers here, and see the Sim City. It's like, I mean, it's trying to move through an ant farm here for these Zealots.
Yeah.
He just lost this game, I want to say.
Everything got massacred.
First of all, I'm dumbfounded that he attacked in without an observer, unless I missed something and the observer was sniped. But either way, honestly, dude, that third base, you just let them have it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. You're just not going to get in there. Attacking a place like this, much more valuable. Let's see. Maybe he can still do it. It is Snow. He is phenomenal at the game, but I worry right now because that was a lot of Zealots that were lost.
They're dealing a lot of damage to this mineral base, so like maybe he gets, a little bit of counter damage done, but with no third base.
Yeah, the Corsairs are getting Overlord kills here, which is nice.
But look at the supply difference. It's like 10 supply difference total, which is not where you want to be as Protoss.
No, you want to be way bigger. I am so shocked he put in there. I mean, Zerg's, some of these bases that Zerg can set up, you just don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
You can actually play a positional game where you just try to stop them from getting another base that would look like that one.
Yeah.
But especially just with Zealots, no way. Now, this is so good. Because now he supply blocked them. Now, watch carefully. Let's see how far that Snow can take this.
Running away from those Scourge.
Every once in a while, if they don't have enough Hydras, if they don't have enough Scourge like this, you can go in and kill Overlords after Overlords after Overlords, and because their development is gridlocked...
Just a completely tempo-based play?
Yeah. I mean, Bisa was the first guy, I think, that really unpacked this idea of, like, well, you can just kill all their Overlords and keep producing, and sometimes you can swing a fight that way. And honestly, even 20 seconds of being supply blocked is a headache for the Zerg.
For anybody, man.
Yeah.
It's really quite brutal at this pro level, right? Like right now, Larva is supply blocked for a moment, but he's throwing down a lot of static D, which is actually something kind of nice for Zerg, right? That static D is one of the hardest things to kill, and making this front line even more defended against a Snow who clearly wants to attack. The guy has 9 gates. It seems pretty reasonable way to deal with your supply block, right?
It's an excellent way to do it, and I don't know that he could break into this.
The natural might be an easier place, right?
Oh my God, the DT. Wait, is he going to do this again? All right, let's just see if this works. I don't know what to say, Artosis.
Well, you know what? He's getting a lot of drones at the natural during this, so even just like going in and making him look at that for a moment is amazing, because look at this. That's some good damage right there on that DT. 7 drones, 8 drones.
Yeah, now he's going to go into the main.
Oh,
and
no.
the push down here, and he's not watching.
It feels like Snow made a poor attack, but now is playing amazingly.
Corsairs killed the Overlord. The main. What?
They do not, Tasteless. Oh, that's too bad, too.
Yeah,
Could have gotten a lot of damage there.
That would have been a lot of damage. This is tricky, though. Protoss is microing a lot of different stuff at once here.
Let's get those +1, +2 upgrades once again, pushing in against just the +1 attack of these Hydras and Lurkers. Yeah, here comes the Observer, but that's a big spread of Lurkers there. Nice Storm.
Oh, I don't know about
back
this.
Over the bridge.
Yeah, I think he's got to back up.
Yeah.
When you watch an attack like that, it's pretty brutal. So, I mean, Snow has gone for, you know, some pretty strong pushes. I don't know if this Zerg can be broken, though. Larva's very good at this style. Sort of.
Yeah, no, he
these...
is an excellent Turtle Zerg. That's actually a lot of his strength. That's where it is.
Oh, no. What is the story here? Okay, he loses
Scouting
2
High
Templars.
Templars.
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
now, there is a possibility if he can get his army into a stable position, because this is a wide area, he could Dragoon push through here.
Okay.
But he needs more over here than this.
Yeah, and I like that he's taking the double gas behind this because his third base is a mineral.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's like kind of holding and zoning this area and making this an area where like it's Larva defending rather than Snow defending, I think that does well for him, because when he gets those 2 gases up, his High Templars can really explode.
Yeah. I could not agree more. Now, this, again, you got to keep the Zealots out of this control group. Mutas come in.
They get the Observers.
Yeah, it's rough. Where are the Corsairs from earlier?
Maybe he lost them. I only see one flying around.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're in the center left.
Oh, are they? No.
Oh, no. Never mind. Sorry.
Like, wow, it's weird that they're following where the ramps are for when they're walking around, huh? That's some heavy micro on those Corsairs. Right, the Mutas just flying by. This whole group of Mutas here. Feelings going for a counterattack to the top right. Now, that Larva knows that is there. That's an important thing for him to keep track of. 3 High Templars go down. He can pick off these Corsairs as well. He's just got so many Mutas in there.
Great control by him. And if you stop Templars from getting to the middle of the map, I mean, Protoss can't really do anything. The Protoss will never win with Zealots and Dragoons alone.
Well, he's going to have to try Tasteless because he just lost all of his High Templars. Now, a couple Corsairs coming over to push these out. It's kind of funny that he's diving on the gates. It doesn't feel super useful right there.
I think he's just trying to get the army back here for this. He's just going to try to take a fight anywhere that he can.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of Zealots and Goons, and he does have the better upgrades right now, just slightly.
And the Observer is the Achilles heel, though. If he loses that, he loses the fight.
Well, he actually pulled it all over to the side, which is nice to see. A little Zealot counterattack, that's going to get cleaned up very, very easily. Mutas seem to be maybe on hold position there.
Oh, man, this is so many Lurkers. Nice Storm. Not bad at all.
Done a lot of damage to some of these.
Does Protoss barely win this? I don't think so.
I think
actually.
he barely loses
All
this. Yeah, as that Observer goes down, gets much, much harder. Larva actually up in supply right now as well.
Yeah, I think we may end up seeing Larva take this game. If he can wipe out this base at the top right, first of all, the double gas is one of the strongest things that there is in like all the matchups.
Double gas
PvC, a Protoss with double gas is like, oh, I have everything. I've got all the Templars and Reavers and whatever else I need.
Yeah. All right, well, Larva's taken over this area. I don't think that Snow's going to be in this game much longer, Tasteless, because once you lose this, you're battling up to a high ground against Lurker Hydra, and Larva's going to be able to kill this cannon to base.
Yeah,
you just can't hold on.
Not enough cannons, I don't think. Hold on a second, though. Protoss might be able to push up. Just barely holding this.
Maybe, but we have more reinforcements coming, and here comes an Observer now. So he can remove these at least. The Corsairs pushing back some more of the Overlords.
Right now, Snow is hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. Very similar supplies here. But again, bad for Snow.
Yeah. If he can hang on, though, if he can get some more Templars out here, it wouldn't kill him to make a gateway down there either at that base. A lot of times when you have these real outpost-ish bases.
Yeah.
Is just make a gate, make a robo too for Reavers, because all you need to do is hold it. You see fights like that happen on Eclipse a lot as well in the top left.
Sure. All right, still trying to break through some lurkers, stopping those reinforcements. All the cannons go down. The probe's going to start to fall as well, and I think Snow knows that this is the end.
Wow. I can't believe it, man. Snow is going to lose here.
Yeah.
To Larva. Larva really, he's got his own style and he makes it work. We don't really see other Zergs play quite like this.
Yeah, generally not.
He marches to his own beat. Impressive. I mean, we see Snow trying to fight back, but his supply is plummeting. Yeah, he's losing observers. The mineral base is really never enough. The longer the game goes on, you need to have a base with the gases. GG. Larva could not be happier. Wow.
Yeah. Well, beautifully played, right? He was the leader of the group, starting it off because he did get round of 4 last season.
Right.
And, I mean, here you see he's done a great job. Like, he picked a group that he could get out of. He starts off by beating Bisu and then beats Snow. I mean, his CVP is deadly.
I love that Larva's not finished yet. I mean, I think we're going to see this guy improve and grow and get better and better, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah,
But I think this guy is eventually going to be winning ASLs.
That would be amazing.
I really think it's going to come.
But I think he's going to be really close to winning an ASL, and then Flash is going to come out of the military. He's just going to give up. But no, his CVP looking immaculate. If he gets a Protoss in that next round, I think he's got another round of 4 in his hands.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine if these two can't beat him, who's going to?
I mean, if you beat Snow and Bisu, it's like, well, that matchup is no problem.
Yeah, who's left? Like Mini, Best, that's about it.
I thought it said into the Rob over there.
Into the Rob.
To the Rob, you go.
I'm not sure who he is.
Rob.
How do these foreigners get in the Korean clans, man? Into the Rob.
Yeah. This is round of 8, but I thought it said Rob. All right, interview time.
ASL 시즌 11 16강 시조 경기 함께 만나보고 계십니다. 오늘의 첫 번째 8강 진출자는 이몽규 선수인데요. 지금 바로 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
쉽지 않은 경기였는데 결국 1위로 진출하셨습니다. 끝나고 나서 이 경기를 어떻게 이겼지 싶으셨을 것 같거든요. 소감이 좀 어떠세요?
그냥 게임했던 내용들이 좀 기억이 잘 안 나요. 정말 그 정도로 정신없게 게임을 한 것 같아가지고 아마 제 인생에서 정말 손에 꼽을 만한 진짜 추억? 아니면 경험? 약간 이런 거 아닌가 싶습니다.
정말 사실 경기 전에도 이봉규 선수가 좀 자신감을 내비쳤기 때문에 올라갈 거라고 생각은 했지만 이렇게 강력한 프로토스들을 다 잡고 올라갈 거라고는 아마 많은 분들도 좀 쉽게 예상하긴 어려웠을 것 같아요. 토스전에 뭔가 깨달음을 얻은 것 같다라는 이야기들도 많았는데 이몽규 선수 개인적인 생각은 어떠신가요?
토스전 자체를 워낙 자신 있어 했는데 이제 김태경 선수를 못 넘어가지고 계속 좀 개인적으로 스트레스를 많이 받았거든요. 개인 방송에서. 근데 이번에 대회에서 또 제가 지목도 하고 또 장윤철 선수까지 기세가 좋은데 만약 김태경 선수를 퀄리포이드에서 잡아낸다면 장윤철 선수도 무리 없이 잡아낼 수 있을 거라고 확신을 해가지고 그 확신을 가지고 게임했던 것 같아요.
확신은 있으셨겠지만 세 번째 세트는 정말 어려웠을 것 같습니다. 사실 셀치 쪽에서 커세어에게 오버로드를 정말 많이 잡혔어요. 그때 사실 게임이 끝났다고 봐도 무방했을 것 같은데 오히려 이몽규 선수는 뮤탈리스크로 한시 쪽을 집요하게 좀 노리시면서 위기를 극복해내는 모습이었거든요. 조합을 좀 깰 수 있겠다라는 생각이 언제쯤 드셨나요?
조합 자체는 항상 좀 게임하다 보니까 이제 병력을 조금씩 흘리더라고요. 커세어는 잘 쓰는데 그 외적인 병력들을 조금 흘리길래 이런 부분들을 조금 제가 멀티태스킹을 걸면서 막아낸다면 충분히 승산이 있지 않았을까라고 생각을 했었습니다.
이몽규 선수가 원래 가지고 있던 강점들이 한층 더 견고해졌다라는 느낌을 받을 만한 이번 16강 경기가 아니었을까 싶습니다. 이제 다전제 8강으로 올라가게 되셨는데요. 더 높은 곳을 바라보실 것 같은데 현재 각오는 좀 어떠신가요?
정말 큰 벽을 하나 넘었기 때문에 그 다음 이제 작은 산들밖에 보이지 않거든요. 그래서 그런 산들 가뿐히 넘어가면서 우승까지 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다.
경기 전 이몽규 선수가 자신감을 비췄을 때 사실 경기 결과가 좋지 않았던 적이 좀 덜어 있었어서 많은 팬분들이 아마 좀 걱정도 하고 또 기대도 하면서 경기를 지켜보셨을 것 같아요. 팬들에게도 더 좋은 모습 보여주겠다고 한 말씀 해주시죠.
이번에 또 굉장히 응원을 많이 해주셨어요. 그 시청자 친구 중에 한 친구는 이제 맵 데이터별로 그 엑셀 파일을 만들어가지고 저한테 또 주기도 하고, 그리고 또 제가 즐겨 좋아하던 유튜버 분들이 또 응원해 주시기도 하고, 그래가지고 정말 뭔가 보답을 해야겠다라고 생각을 해가지고 정말 열심히 준비를 했는데 좋은 결실 맺어서 정말 기분 좋고요. 예, 집에 가서 또 재미있게 또 방송도 하고 8강도 준비해서 새로운 모습으로 또 돌아올 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
네, 다시 한번 8강 진출 축하드립니다, 이몽규 선수.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 C조에서 가장 먼저 8강에 진출한 이몽규 선수와 함께 했습니다. 이 한치도 눈을 뗄 수 없는 치열한 경기 속에서 중계진분들께서 제게도 에너지를 충전하실 기회를 주셨는데요. 그 전에 먼저 이벤트 안내해 드리도록 하겠습니다.
All right, guys, we want to take this moment to thank you for subscribing to the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. We just love you guys for keeping ASL alive. Again, we have a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff that we're throwing up. As you can see, the VODs are coming out quicker and quicker, and we have a lot of great plans for the future that hopefully we can start talking about in that round of 8.
Yes. So, guys, again, patreon.com/ASL English. If you want to support us directly, we really appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Bisu against Effort.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스감. 환도 역시 가스감이 대세.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
아이시스 에코 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코 아이시스 에코.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Welcome back to the ASL. It's time to eliminate one of these two players. We were talking about how this is kind of a blast from the past to have these two guys. 13 years ago, this was a Star League Finals. But here they are now. One of these players is not suited to be in the round of 8. We're going to find out which one it is.
That's a mean way to put it,
It's
Aceless.
a true way to put it, Artosis.
But maybe the 3 best players in the world are all in this group.
Maybe every player in the ASL should get a trophy. No, Artosis.
No, certainly not. Well, we're going to see who goes out. What is your bet here on who actually ends up winning?
I think Bisu wins.
Really?
I do.
I think Effort's going to take it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Either-
The thing is, their opponents played so well against them, but Bisu seemed... Well, no,
Well, he
I
had that
can't...
weird game where he, Nexus on 12 and
Well,
his speed zealots into...
Effort did an endless Hydra bust, right? After his Zergling rush didn't work. So both of them were a little bit aggressive.
We're going to go into this match now and decide who's eliminated, guys. It's Effort or Bisu. And, of course, the winner goes on to face off against Snow in our final match for Group C.
All right. In at the top right of Eclipse, we have Effort. At the bottom left, we have Bisu. Eclipse. We've had some good PVZs here.
Yeah. This is a great map in general. I've really enjoyed seeing how it affects each of the matchups here. You know, PVZ is always about, you know, trying to manage expansions on both sides. I know that sounds silly because a lot of StarCraft is like that, but when you look at the bottom right, very turtly for either race. But generally speaking, they both expand up towards each other in the upper left. So it's very important to control the map. There's a lot of terrain to cover to get to the bottom right to the upper left.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's not easy to get access to that. So I know this has sort of been a theme for today since it's been nonstop PVZs, and it may continue on if Effort wins here, but some Zergs, and Protosses too, can get spots they can just hold forever. Lurker, Spore, Sunk for the Zerg, High Templar Cannon, Reaver for the Protoss.
Yeah.
So, especially in the bottom right spots, we want to watch for that. Protoss is always gunning to take that upper left base with the double gases.
Yeah.
That basically makes it so that you have enough Templars that nothing's a problem.
I wonder if it will get that long, because when you think about the way these guys play, like, we saw Bisu, at least in that one game against Larva, giving Larva a lot of opportunities to make a mistake, but Effort is such a decisive Zerg, which again is so important for Zerg players. Like, this is how Jadon came up, and what the first thing that was noticed about his play when he was called the Legend Killer before he became the Legend himself is he was just so decisive, right? Like, he always knew when to pounce and get the damage, which is so important with Zerg, right? Because you have all your low health units that deal lots of damage, and you need to be perfect at that. So it feels like it's less likely with a couple players like this for us to get into that big macro game. Whereas you get a player like Larva against a player like Snow, where Snow's good mid-game in PvZ and then Larva's very good turtling. It's like, yeah, we're going to get a lot of longer games. But here I feel like we might have it come to a head a bit quicker, you know?
Yeah. He does see it's pool and then gas. He cancels the pylon. And this is very interesting. When you see gas that quickly, you're thinking Ling speed.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, Ling speed is really something that Protoss don't want to deal with at all. And so they're usually required to start turtling pretty quickly. Now, I think he can still get the Nexus up. I don't think he has to make a Forge right away.
Oh, really? Okay.
I might be wrong. I don't know. I think this is something as a caster I'm still trying to get a handle on. He actually gets a Forge as well. So this is very interesting to see both of the Protoss players, upon seeing this, immediately get the Forge.
Well, afraid of Effort coming in and really getting that punish off. So the Lings start attacking the gateway. Look at that. He wants to squeeze some Lings in and get a surround and whatnot. Okay,
he does.
Yeah, he gets a couple Lings in, but they did take a little bit of damage there as well. Not sure how much he'll get done with this, but it might be significant.
2 Zerglings is always enough to be a threat. Even 1, you can start to pick off workers. Just interrupting the mining is always a headache. Now, there's more Lings out on the map. There is always the possibility that the Zerg gears up to do some kind of a... Oh my god, Artosis, look at the minimap. Look at the Zerg's main.
Yeah?
Is that a den?
Oh my god, is it 2 Hatch Hydra? 2 Hatch Hydra.
Oh.
Tasteless.
Oh no.
Since when is 2 Hatch Hydra a thing? He's blocking all scouting, so he gets the probe.
No, 2 Hatch Hydra's a thing for sure. It's just super all-in.
Not regular all-in.
Not regular all-in.
So not as likely.
This is like I go to the casino, okay? And I'm like, here's all the money I own. I want to put that in. Also, I want you to kill me if I don't win. It's like there's nothing more all. It's like here's all my money, and if I lose my bet, you can shoot me in the face.
Okay.
That's how all in this is.
Well, let's see if Effort can make it work.
Nick, why would you gamble everything you had? You've worked so hard your whole life. You're going to give away all your money. I'm like, I also want to give away my life. I'm super all in.
I'm not trying to come back from this one. There's no transition for me. Okay, the 4 Zealots coming across. He does block this with Zealot Probe. Oh my god. Oh my god. If Effort breaks through here, he can stop the cannon from finishing.
Oh,
another Zealot.
Oh my god. He gets the probe. Okay, he's going to get both the Lings, I believe.
Yeah, 1 Ling gets out. Oh my god, he sees
So he's gonna see this
6
right now.
Speed Hydras. So Effort can micro against this, but now Bisu knows what he's up against. Can't he just make cannons now and win?
Well, yeah, that's correct. But we'll see how... Oh, he's so smart. He just sends the Zealots right by. He knows, like, all right, if you just chase this, all you have to do is get enough cannons and not die to the rush. And in fact, this is so insane. I think Bisu's played a near-perfect game here, given the circumstances. The fact that he wasn't sure what's going on and he knows that Effort likes to play like this, he just sent the Zealots out.
That was an insane drill, though.
Yeah.
From Effort. Great micro. A lot of cannons coming up from Bisu. He's going up to 5 cannons right now. Cancels his Corsair. Look at this. The cannons are so far back. He's saying, you know what? You have that wall.
Yeah, you can have the wall. I'll have a base. How about that?
Yeah, no, that's your free drink at the casino right there, is that wall.
Yeah.
While they take your money.
Exactly. This is the watered down gin tonic that they give you while you gamble away everything.
All right, another cannon going up. Pylon as well. He has no forge anymore, so like, does Effort just like double down on this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not like.
Oh, he's going after the pylon. You can't kill pylons in this game. This is a StarCraft 2.
Oh my God! I like the idea, but it's not gonna work.
Well, that's it. GG. Oh my God.
That was crazy.
You see him? He's like,
whoa, Jesus, man.
Yeah. He actually had another pylon building.
Yeah. I don't think that he knew that though.
Well, Effort's
Effort.
playing pretty cheesy tonight,
Yeah.
Tasteless.
Well, we've seen, Bisu fall to Soma before.
Yeah.
With this kind of play. I mean, even the best Protosses can die to it. It's so strong. But again, he looked at exactly what the situation was and read it correctly. If the Zerg's looking very suspect, you could send your Zealots out. Because either there's going to be a ton of Speedlings, you're going to get surrounded, and then you got a wall in there, or you're going to find the Hydras.
Yeah.
And had he not sent those Zealots out, the Hydras would have
Just killed him 100%.
100% it would have killed him.
Yeah. Effort, I mean, he tried to get him to not find it. He tried to, like, make the Lings threatening. He went for the run-by and stuff. Sometimes you'll get a Protoss that'll turn around, but not this man. Not this night.
Yeah.
Now, Effort in a lot of trouble. He is 1 map from elimination here.
Yeah, are we going to get Effort playing a more normal game? I don't know. I mean, his ideas are very good with these Hydra busts, but, Protosses are always adapting. They're getting the handle of it. We're going to go to Polaris Rhapsody for game number 2. That's ready to go. Let's do this.
All right, Effort in the bottom right. And top left, we have Bisu. Okay. Polaris Rhapsody, EVZ. I mean, we just saw a great game between Snow and Larva, but that was completely different from what we're going to see here, right? Effort likes to pull the trigger. He likes to make the game decided a little bit more early on. I can't remember the last time I saw a very long ZVP out of him.
Right.
I feel like on Bisu's side, it's less in his control, right? Zergs kind of get to decide the tempo of the game for the most part in this matchup, unless it's Mini.
Yeah, unless it's Mini. Unless Mini decides to do something weird with tech early on one
It's
base.
like 14 Zealots before a Nexus or Gas. It's like, okay, Mini, okay, yes. That's the game we'll play. You're right.
It is cool to see him do stuff like that because it shows you that there's so many different ways to play this matchup. There's the way that most players believe is probably the strongest from the Protoss' perspective, but then you got Mini who's really out there. And he's very good at his own approach.
Yeah.
Which requires a completely different tempo from the Zerg.
Well, we have
I'm going to try to actually watch when the first pool is made here. Is this actually just overpool?
It looks like overpool, right? Or no, maybe it's just 12 hatch. Or 12 pool.
There's been a couple times where I'm talking to you, and then I turn back, and like there's Lings coming and 2 cannons making, and I'm like, oh. Huh, okay.
Now, it can be tricky to see the Zerg build order correctly, because they don't have buildings that you can glance at as much. I don't know. I don't play Zerg. That's why it's hard, actually. With Terran, I just look at the mini map and I'll tell you every single thing about their build.
He gets the pylon block again.
Oh, that's some good micro from Effort. Putting a lot of damage on this probe right off the bat. You know what, Tasteless? That might be enough. Maybe Effort's going to go for the Zergling all in now.
You got to wonder, actually, when you see blocks like that, where the Zerg is just not getting to do what he wants to do. Effort, I'm the greatest gamer. He's like trying to smash the probe on the head with this mineral.
He's like, hey, I have a present for you. I have a present for you. He's like, I don't want your present. Get away from me.
This is an epic chase scene of a drone and a probe.
That's just how deep this game is that we actually have things like this, and this is actually very impactful.
Yeah, no, this actually
it really is.
It's very important. By the way, he went Nexus and Forge. It was
And
Pylon before
Yeah.
the Nexus even.
That's like so funny. So he blocks the hatchery, the third hatch going down at the mineral base.
Now, what's funny about this is if I'm a Zerg,
Yeah.
I assume it's gate first. You see the pylon. It's
Oh,
not.
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the Zealot can come out and continue to put pressure on.
Oh,
But
because
it's
the
not.
hatchery's far away?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in this case, it's like, you let the pylon finish, and you don't have any gateway.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very misleading setup, I think.
Okay. Well, his Overlord gets up there, so he sees exactly what's going on now. Builds a hatchery next to the pylon. Totally fine move. Obviously, you know, you're going up above 3 hatches a lot of the
Right.
time. But with Effort, sometimes below 3.
An all-in could be tempting here from Effort. Honestly, sometimes when you're playing against really good Zergs, if you do anything that slows them down, you should just expect an all-in.
Yeah. Zergs will switch on to aggression on a dime.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, like in Terran vs. Zerg, if you kill an Overlord or a drone at the beginning, they'll just ling all in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
exactly.
like, it shocks me because it's almost so regular. It's like 70% of the time.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Okay. Like, you want to screw up my hatchery placement?
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm forced to make a 4th hatchery?
Well, it is. His hatchery is misleading at the natural, right? Because you look at that and you say, okay, well, obviously you'll just put another hatchery next to this for the proper mining. Nah, man, no problem.
Nah, bro.
Dude.
Bro.
Bro.
Nah, bro.
Bro. Oh my God.
So, you know, I do want to point out this is slightly different than the first game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's going to look very similar, but some of the ideas are different here.
Well, he had a lot of lings in the first game. That's not occurring this time. He has 3 hatcheries instead of 2 this time.
Did he get ling speed?
I don't believe he did.
There's like, I don't know if there's material, like reading material about this. If there is, please tweet at me. But I want to know how many different variations of the Hydra all-in there are.
Oh, dude, as many as there are Zergs on the ladder.
As many as there are specks of sand on the earth.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways that you can do this strategy.
Yeah.
And
ooh, he gets a drone! Whoa, dude! You're not supposed to get that drone.
No, you're not.
So sound excited about it.
Zip zop super bob tasteless.
You got the drone, tasteless.
Whoa. The drone actually doesn't matter. What's more important is that he doesn't see the Hydras. Because that's what you're looking for. Right now, I think Bisu might still think this is sort of a macro game. Oh, no, he knows.
4 cannons.
Something tipped him off.
Yeah.
Something tipped.
He just gets feelings about stuff. He reads situations just so beautifully. Now the Hydra's coming across the map. Overlord going to be picked off by this Corsair.
Keep in mind, if you kill the Overlord, sometimes you can try to go for a DT to hold this. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another Overlord up here.
Well, it feels like it's already held, honestly, this many cannons. And look at the placement, like, with this wall. The cannons are, like, hugging the wall. Look at this.
Yeah.
The cannons fit the wall like a fitted shirt.
This is going to be the Lings running into tank and trying to fight the Zealots, which are all out here in the front. Oh, great job here moving these Zealots right out. Oh, dude, he is done.
But
he is...
I think you can macro out of this as effort. This was not that crazy all in. Right, he's going into his 4th hatch. He's going into lair. He's making drones. He doesn't have that many Hydras.
I think you're right.
And like
I think actually, I mean, it's not great, especially against Bisu. but it's not the end of the world either.
Yeah.
But his follow-up is very strong. This is the counterpunch build for this.
Yeah.
His 4-gate Zealot.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they don't have a lot of Hydras. They lost the Lings and the Hydras in the attempted attack.
And they lost 2 Overlords already, too.
Right. And so, I mean, this is all very, very strong here from Bisu. I mean, he can really come out swinging here. And again, I mean, I think the 3-hatch plays really good. I worry when I see Zergs do it too much.
Yeah.
The 3-hatch Hydra.
But some of the 3-hatch Hydras that have been invented at this point, where it like looks like an all-in, but it's really truly not.
Right.
Like those can be pretty scary. But it seems like Bisu treaded this line perfectly. Like he has exactly the right amount of cannons that no damage could befall him. He has the 4 gateways. He has 1 Corsair that's now gotten 2 kills and scouted everything. There's like nothing that Bisu doesn't know and nothing that can kill Bisu. He's all the things.
Yeah, no, he is all the things. I like that. So the Zealots are going to come out now. And the question is, where exactly do you strike? It's not like the Zerg has a really great SimCity here.
No, he does not.
It's just hatches.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a sunk behind anything. I don't see any lurkers. I mean, I don't know if the Zerg can actually survive this. He could try to.
He's supply blocked again.
Oh, you're right.
Oh man. Okay, well he tries to use the Hydras with the SimCity. Oh God, Tastes. I think Effort's dead.
I think he is. And look at this. He just avoids that. He's like, there's going to be Hydras coming out on the middle of the map, isn't there?
Yeah. And there's no real SimCity here either. Like just the 2 hatches next to each other.
He can just go in the main if he wants.
Oh boy. Well,
okay, there's 1 lurker being made, but I don't know about this, man.
Well, maybe you can lurker egg up everything and hope that this works out. Cross your fingers.
I don't know, dude. This is rough. I mean, lurkers are going to come out, but there's so much damage being dealt. Keep in mind, this Corsair is going to start killing Overlords as well.
True.
And now you can just hit every single individual location.
Yeah, there's a lot of drones over here and not a lot of defense. I tell you what, a disappointing night for Effort. Wow, his drones are all stuck.
Whoa.
Okay, well that's fun. He just lost every drone to a weird caught location. Wow, that was like... He's at 36 supply tasteless. So this was Effort's ASL round of 16. It did not go well for him, unfortunately.
No.
Was he too aggressive overall?
Yes. I mean, there's just... This is insane how much damage is being dealt here. Bisu can basically ignore the lurkers. It's one of the reasons why super quick lurkers are not actually that great. Is because the Zealots they are tanky enough that they just run past it. You can just do damage elsewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to snipe a hatchery down there. Oh, I guess 2 lurkers is probably too much. But
so I guess technically we have survival for now.
Technically, yes. But I mean, there were so many drones killed when they glitched on the hatch.
There was, yeah.
This isn't difficult for Protoss.
He has no economy right now. This is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a very low-ranked Protoss play this out. If they understand how to play the game, they should be winning. You know,
how many? Here's the question: how many observers in a row do you have to snipe to win this game?
A lot. Honestly, I mean, yeah. The only
is it
way
like
that
6?
The only way that you would probably lose this as Protoss, you're right, is if you just lost all your observers.
Over and over.
Over and over and over.
Over and over and over.
It has happened before.
What's actually do you happen to know the build time of an observer?
No, I actually just don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that long. It makes very fast.
Okay, Lurkers and Hydras coming out into the middle of the map. Gonna go ahead and burrow get, a couple volleys off onto the Zealots, but they just run past. Yeah, Psystorms and Dragoons.
Yeah, the combination of those 2 units. I love the shuttle coming in here as well. It's not like the Zerg got a Spire, but this can go uncontested. And it's Zealots, maybe a DT, I don't know.
I bet you there's a DT in there.
Could be a Psystorm drop as well.
Oh, that would be crazy. Oh, it is. Oh, my.
Oh, whoa.
That wasn't it.
Oh,
that one was.
That's the
that
thing
was
is, you can just Psystorm the Hydras, too.
Yeah, that worked. I mean, you're going to get that many kills. It would have been sick to get the drones, but supply differential is pretty big in Bisu's favor. It seems like Effort actually re-droned very, very well. Imagine if he hadn't lost like 15 drones that were glitched out of the third.
This is the thing is that, he's so scary as a macro player. I mean, when you play against somebody who can just bounce back from stuff like this, it's really something else.
Overlord coming up to scout, gets picked off.
But again, we're seeing the Protoss really power up. I mean, I think he has all the gateways he needs. He is setting up to take another base that I don't think is going to be stopped. I love the Corsairs coming out here. But I think this is a fake, is it not? I didn't see anything loaded in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of overlords
It's a
to
lot.
be sending up. Ooh, all right, some very good
wow.
storms.
Huge Psy storms there, just wrecking.
Yeah. Not feeling too confident about effort winning this game, Tastes.
Yeah, although Protoss doesn't really have that much over here. I'm kind of confused with what I'm seeing here.
Well, he caught some of the army kind of out of position.
This is what's going on here. All right, so the rest of the army actually went back up there.
He just keeps tricking people with drops, or trying to at least.
Yeah, but he's also losing overlords.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems when you do that, is that you can get them out of position, but you are sacking supply. All right. He gets some obs.
Well, he does get obs, but there's like so few lurkers left. I guess he does have a couple up here trying to deny that third base. But he's less than half the supply of Bisu, and he's supply blocked.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal, man. Now, the Hydras are going to come up here. Again, it's always kind of funny watching anybody who tries to do an all-in then play into the rest of the game, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks like there's no way a Zerg would ever beat a Protoss. If you look at this, GG, but in reality, it's that the Zerg is being punished for being greedy and trying to end a game, whereas Bisu was basically playing a patient game, ready to defend every type of strategy, and then go into a push macro game.
Yeah. Well, Bisu defeats the very aggressive play of Effort to go on to that final match, which is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss against Snow. Effort, unfortunately, stops his journey. We'll see if he's back next season.
Yeah. That was, I feel for Effort. You know, it's rough, especially when you've been so on top of the world before.
Yeah.
To kind of have your games go the way they did today and to be flushed out in the round of 16.
Honestly, he's kind of new back, right? Like, when Queen popped out of the military, we saw him getting into the Star Leagues, but he wasn't winning them. He was falling out in the middle. And then he became a champion twice in a row, right? I think the same thing's going to happen with Effort. You give him a couple more seasons, he's going to be back on top.
So Bisu survives that, and we're going to have not a PvZ Artosis. There's going to be Protoss Civil War. Snow versus Bisu. I'm super excited about this one. Guys, we're going to go to a short little break, and when we come back, the final best of 3 to decide who moves on to the round of 8.
안녕하세요. 아프리카TV e스포츠 그리고 게임 콘텐츠 사업부문의 총괄을 맡고 있는 최정원이라고 합니다. 그동안 아프리카TV가 매년 새로운 그리고 더 많은 e스포츠 콘텐츠들을 여러분들께 보내드렸었지만 올해 처음으로 여러분들께 2021년 1년 동안 어떤 계획을 가지고 아프리카TV가 e스포츠를 진행하는지 소개해드리고 싶어서 이렇게 영상에 출연하게 됐습니다. 아프리카TV는 2021년 올 한 해 총 11개의 e스포츠 종목으로 구성된 16개의 정규 대회로 여러분들을 찾아갈 예정입니다. 365일 중에서 약 440회 이상의 풍부한 e스포츠 콘텐츠가 여러분들을 찾아갈 예정인데요. 이는 하루에 1개 이상의 e스포츠 정규 리그를 여러분들께 서비스한다는 의미입니다. 지금까지 존재했던 국내 e스포츠 방송사 중에서 가장 많고 다양한 리그를 제공하는 것이기 때문에 더욱 큰 의미가 있다고 자랑스럽게 말할 수 있습니다. 아프리카TV의 정말 많은 개인 방송 중에서 게임을 소재로 하는 방송들의 비중은 60%가 넘습니다. 그만큼 많은 BJ들이 게임을 소재로 방송을 하고 있고 많은 우리 유저분들이 다양한 콘텐츠를 즐기면서 게임 방송을 즐겨 시청하고 있습니다. 게임 콘텐츠들은 BJ들이 직접 플레이하며 방송하는 것도 있지만 개인들이 직접 하지 못하는 다양한 규모의 e스포츠 콘텐츠를 만들어서 우리 유저와 BJ들에게 제공한다면 훨씬 더 풍성하고 다양한 아프리카TV의 생태계가 될 거라고 믿습니다. 아울러 아프리카TV에서 활동하는 BJ들이 어느덧 BJ에서 프로게이머, 그리고 해설자, 코치 등 다양한 영역에서 e스포츠 활동을 이어나가고 있습니다. 이들에게 단기간에 끝나는 경력이 아닌 지속 가능한 커리어를 만들어주기 위해서라도 아프리카TV는 e스포츠의 모든 영역인 e스포츠 리그의 기획, 제작, 운영, 그리고 프로팀까지 계속해서 이어나갈 생각입니다. 자, 그럼 아프리카TV에서 올 한 해 준비한 e스포츠 리그 하나하나 소개해드리도록 하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 리마스터로 진행되는 국내 유일 스타크래프트 리그 ASL은 올해 2개 시즌이 여러분을 찾아갑니다. 또한 시청자 여러분의 요청에 따라 지난해 개막한 스타크래프트 팀 리그 ASTL 역시 2개 시즌으로 선보일 예정이니 팀 리그만의 묘미 맘껏 즐겨주시길 바랍니다. 2010년에 개막한 이래 올해로 11주년을 맞이하는 글로벌 스타크래프트2 리그인 GSL은 올해 총 3시즌 기존과 변함없이 진행되고요. 짧고 굵게 진행되는 단기 대회 GSL 슈퍼 토너먼트는 한 시즌 늘어 총 3시즌이 전 세계 스타크래프트2 팬들을 찾아갈 예정입니다. 국내 최초 배틀그라운드 프로레벨 리그였던 아프리카TV 펍지 리그 APL. 올해는 프로투어 2시즌 최강 BJ들이 펼치는 BJ 한중 대항전 2시즌이 준비되어 있고요. 배틀그라운드 동아시아 지역 통합 e스포츠 대회인 펍지 위클리 시리즈 PWS. 지난 1월 24개 프로팀이 참가했던 프리시즌이 잘 마무리됐습니다. 앞으로 페이즈 2시즌, 스매시컵 2시즌이 여러분을 찾아갈 예정이니 많은 기대 부탁드립니다. 아프리카TV에서 개최한 롤토체스 한국 첫 공식 대회인 ATS 운명 시리즈 1차 서킷 대회가 지난해 성공적으로 치러졌는데요. ATS 운명 야수의 축제는 지난 2월 세트 4.5가 잘 마무리됐고 올 상반기 중에 세트 5가 찾아갈 예정입니다. 더불어 TFT 한국 대표를 가리는 레전드컵은 물론 글로벌 대회인 운명 챔피언십까지 모두 보내드릴 예정이니까요. 기대하셔도 좋을 것 같습니다. 인기게임 BJ와 전직 롤 프로게이머들이 참여하는 아프리카TV LOL 리그 ALL. 지난 3월 21일 파일럿 시즌이 잘 마무리됐는데요. 은퇴한 게이머들에게 새로운 동기를 부여하고 전혀 새로운 콘텐츠와 스토리로 기대를 모으고 있는 ALL. 파일럿 시즌 외에 올해 2개의 정규 시즌이 예정되어 있습니다. 더불어 한국과 중국의 대표 선수들이 격돌하는 ALL 한중전도 찾아갈 예정입니다. 지난해 라이엇 게임즈의 한국 최초 발로란트 이그니션 시리즈인 아시아 발로란트 쇼다운. 올해는 라이엇과 함께 발로란트 첫 공식 e스포츠 대회인 챌린저스 코리아 스테이지 1, 2, 3를 진행합니다. 또한 각 스테이지사이 펼쳐지는 지역 마스터스, 글로벌 마스터스, 그리고 챔피언스 최종 선발전과 발로란트 챔피언십까지도 한국어 중계로 보내드릴 예정입니다. 이렇게 올 한 해 펼쳐지는 발로란트 챔피언스 투어 전체를 아프리카TV를 통해 모두 만나볼 수 있으니 기대해 주시기 바랍니다. 국내 하스스톤 선수들의 등용문을 만들기 위해 지난해 개막했던 아프리카TV 하스스톤 리그 AHL이 올해도 어김없이 열립니다. 우승자에게 마스터즈 투어 초청장이 제공되는 AHL은 올해 3개 시즌으로 여러분을 찾아갈 예정입니다. 가장 긴 역사를 갖고 있는 국산 e스포츠 카트라이더 리그도 지난 3월 개막을 했습니다. 아프리카TV가 처음 제작하게 될 카트라이더 리그, 많은 기대 부탁드립니다. 한국뿐만 아니라 전 세계적으로 흥행을 하고 있는 컴투스의 서머너즈 워 글로벌 e스포츠 대회 서머너즈 워 월드 아레나 챔피언십 2021을 아프리카TV가 함께하게 되었습니다. 컴투스와 아프리카TV의 첫 SWC, 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 수많은 매니아 팬들을 갖고 있는 국내 최고 철권 대회 아프리카TV 철권 리그 ATL. 지난 1월 이미 첫 번째 시즌이 치러졌고 올해 총 3시즌이 예정되어 있습니다. 더불어 팀을 이루어 진행되는 ATL 팀 배틀도 2시즌 예정돼 있고 연말에는 ATL 그랜드 파이널도 펼쳐질 예정이니 철권 팬들의 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 한국, 중국, 유럽 지역을 대표하는 워크래프트3 선수들이 총 출동하는 아프리카TV 워크래프트3 리그 AWL. 최고의 선수들이 참여하여 성공적으로 진행이 됐고 올해도 총 3시즌 여러분을 찾아갑니다. 이렇게 총 11개 게임 종목으로 올 한 해 16개의 정규 리그가 여러분들을 찾아갈 텐데요. 이 외에도 각 종목 최고의 BJ들이 꾸미는 멸망전도 준비되어 있습니다. 아프리카TV BJ들의 콘텐츠 지원을 위해 만들어졌던 멸망전은 초창기에는 인기 있는 게임 리그 위주로 저희가 중심을 했지만 현재는 시청자분들이나 유저분들, 다른 종목 BJ들의 요청으로 인해서 더욱더 다양한 종목으로 늘어난 상황입니다. 지난해 하스스톤, 피파, 철권 등 12개 종목으로 총 17회의 BJ 멸망전이 진행됐고 총 1,100명의 BJ가 참여를 했습니다. 올해도 역시 다양한 포맷의 멸망전을 준비하고 있으며 약 1,200여 명의 BJ가 참여할 예정입니다. 특히 올해는 레인보우 식스, 모바일 게임, 종합 게임 등 새로운 종목으로 무장한 BJ 멸망전이 여러분을 찾아갈 예정인데요. 끊임없이 발전해 나가고 있는 BJ 멸망전, 정규 리그와는 또 다른 재미를 찾을 수 있으니 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다. 아프리카 TV가 생각하는 e스포츠는 우리 회사 혼자서 만들어가는 e스포츠가 아닙니다. 함께 보는 우리 유저분들과 참가하는 BJ, 그리고 프로게이머분들, 그리고 이들을 서포트하고 함께 나아가는 여러 종사자분들이 다 함께 힘을 합쳐서 만들어가는 그런 e스포츠 아프리카 TV가 앞으로도 계속 발전시키고 만들어 나가겠습니다. e스포츠의 모든 것 아프리카 TV. 2021년 아프리카 TV에서 준비한 e스포츠 리그들 여러분 함께 즐겨주세요.
Welcome back, everyone. ASL continues on, and we're switching it up. No more PVZs. Now it's going to be a PvP. This is honestly one of the most exciting PvPs you could ask for. This is kind of like a dream come true if you're a student of the matchup.
Yeah, actually, there's only one other one I would really rather see than this. So that's a
Mini vs. Snow?
No, actually, I would really like to see Bisu versus Rain, because Rain is, as far as we could tell, the best PvP ever. But before that, it was Bisu. But now Bisu's out of the military, and Rain is kind of in retirement a little bit. Like he does like variety.
And he's kind of in the military. It's like that's not true.
No. Yeah, no, not that. Not that.
Did he do his military service?
Rain does not have to.
Oh, he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he gave half of his liver to his dad, if I recall.
Or was it
correctly.
a kidney or something? Liver? Or
I
something
think it was a liver transplant, so like he doesn't have to go basically. But yeah, Bisu is the other guy that's like always been unbeatable PvP. So this is a hard one for Snow. He was actually, I guarantee, he was hoping for Soulkey to come up, but Snow is very good PvP as well.
We're gonna go to Hidden Track for map number 1. One of these two Protoss Goliaths is about to be eliminated. Snow or Bisu? With our green screen, and when you took a drink of that bottle, it looked like whatever you were drinking was going to kill you. For sure. I was like, that is only for coloring certain metals.
I'm drinking a Perrier right now. Yeah, it looks crazy.
Looks crazy on the green screen.
Anyways. Snow and Bisu. Yeah, Snow and Bisu. Okay, I got it. Bottom right is Snow, bottom left is Bisu. It is Hidden Track.
You are a mental patient right now.
A little bit. So this is, to give people a memory, it was the map that Shuttle and Best or Shuttle and Snow played
that
on.
stupid game.
Oh, Snow versus Shuttle, where Snow was bottom right and Shuttle was top right, and Shuttle like went max out on 2 base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit odd.
But yeah, that you just these new maps, I find that sometimes it's easier to anchor in your mind what the map looks like if you remember some of the games that have been on it, rather than talking about like the exactly what the layout is.
I think this is a map that does seem to present some weird dilemmas PvP for the third base.
Yeah, a little bit.
PvP is funny because the early game has some kind of ZVZ-ish features to it. Like, you can just be killed outright. You can die to Zealot rushes.
Mm-hmm.
You can miscontrol something and just lose.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get past that into the early builds, which also can just, some of them hard counter each other's.
Yeah.
But then if you last long enough, it becomes a very straightforward macro RTS game.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of units that like function like siege tanks or lurkers.
Yeah.
Reavers, after some time, become...
they're obsolete. They don't scale that well.
They don't scale that well. There's always a moment here or there where you could do a Reaver drop or connect, but by the time you have a bunch of Templars, they're basically superior to Reavers. And you sort of go into one of these big bludgeoning macro games.
Yeah.
Where both of you have pretty fluid armies. Positioning's quite important. It's actually, I think, a great late game matchup if you get there. It seems like at the pro level, we don't have a lot of games that go that far. The early game has been very mapped out, but it does make for a great macro matchup.
I really do actually like late game PvP when we have a somewhat even game, because it's so much about the army movements, and then of course you do have the harassment and like speed, high Templar drops, and all that. But yeah, it becomes really fun to watch in that way, because it feels like a later game PvP comes down so much to fundamentals.
Oh, I like the way you put that. That's exactly what I was thinking, but I think you explained it much better. It's so much about just having solid RTS fundamentals. Moving, producing,
scouting. And games like that can be really a blast, in my opinion. Like, maybe they aren't always the fanciest, but oh, well, this one's not going to be that fancy either. Bisu's going to DT rush.
Oh, well, okay, so the DT rush, I mean, this has always been a feature in PvP. It is extremely strong because, first of all, there's many different types of DT rushes. So when a DT rush comes, it doesn't mean an all-in. He's going to set up to catch this. Oh, he's going to have the Dragoon come out. Did he get range for the Dragoons?
No, I don't think so. I think he's slow on the range to get the DTs quicker.
So, it used to be that everybody always got a Robo. I mean, you have to understand the history of PvP to understand why this is strong, especially in the modern day. Everybody would go Robo, right? Because you didn't want to lose the DTs. And I honestly feel like it was probably map hackers that figured this out first. But if you have a map hack on and you see they're making a Robo, you do realize you don't have to make a Robo of your own. You can make a Nexus.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And so if you just make a Nexus, you're ahead of the guy that made a Robo in most situations. But the problem with that is if you go DTs, the DT just kills you. Now, Snow is doing a very, very conservative build. He went Robo and he went second gate.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that Bisu's going to lose.
No.
But it doesn't mean his DT rush is going to win either.
Yeah, actually, a lot of times, and I'm not sure if he has range or not at this point.
I don't think he got
You
it.
think
If
he
he
skipped all
went
the
this
way?
early, yeah.
Okay. But a lot of times when you do this type of DT rush, like, you go right into Psystorm after, and it can actually turn into kind of an interesting game there.
Oh, yeah. No, that's one of the things. So keep in mind also, Bisu would die to a DT rush if it went to him. He is risking a certain amount here.
Yeah,
He's doing a good job hiding that he doesn't have range, but I think Snow already knows.
Yeah, well, if he thinks no range, you automatically think DT, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's in every, like, that's for Terran as well. If you don't get range, I'm like, oh, okay.
So he's going to go around, and he needs to first stop the DT. One of the threats that comes about here is, wait a minute.
Did he go direct Reaver?
He went Shuttle and then Observers next. So he'll be fine.
Oh, okay. So he sees the DT. He's just, look at the body blocking. It's so good.
I like what he was trying to do there.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh my god, he's like slowing this so much, Tasteless.
He just wedged it.
Yeah.
Right over there. So the goal is to kill as many probes as possible. There is going to be a push from this.
Oh my god. Dude, this is actually, the DT did it, I think. I did think it did enough. 5 kills, plus you slow that army down that much?
Well, it's going to be the counter punch now here.
Yeah.
So the second DT is to hide, because if he leaves with the Observer, the other DT runs in and kills everything. And basically the defending Protoss with the Templar tech just tries to hang on as long as he can.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels to me if Bisu has 2 DTs before all his cannons, 2 storms before all his cannons break, he should hold.
Yeah. You would be correct on that.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like this is pretty darn good for him. Look at this. The DT comes out. He's slinging it.
Oh, he's going to elevate her.
Oh, God. Okay, so that's completely opposite of what I thought I would end up seeing. For some reason, I thought he was going Reaver push.
Well, I think
he did have Reaver tech, but
I think he has a Reaver back at home. But the idea is that you just try to take a fight up here in the main, because they don't really... Templars are not good unless they're like covered with cannons. And so I've never quite seen this maneuver, but it makes sense, right? He can counter this.
Dude.
He can kill the Templars.
What am I
He can out-micro the Templars are going to be killed. I don't think it gets a single storm off. He can kill the Pylon.
It's
he
over.
Can win the game.
It's over.
Well, where's the Observer?
Should be around.
It has to be nearby. Okay,
Yeah, there it is. Tasteless. This is not at all what I thought was going to happen in Bisu as well. He built 4 cannons at his front. And now he loses.
I've never quite seen this move.
Yeah.
Like, I, in my head, I always imagined a Reaver had to be here. But I guess what you do is you make a second Observer back at home so you're safe. And you just send the Dragoons out and the Zealots out, and you just sort of ferry them up into the main.
Yeah, I guess if all of your units were in the main waiting for this, like if you thought there was a chance, this probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, and you can just get the Reaver later.
So it's actually like...
This is such an interesting solution to one of the most common scenarios in PvP.
Yeah.
Is the DT that does damage, but the inbound push And I guess, especially in these spawns, this makes so much more sense that I feel like this should have always been the first solution.
Well,
and I mean, I'm not a Protoss guru, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be
that's kind of an exciting
quietly
thing to watch.
nodding their head to this, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Snow. That was such a perfect counter. And
You know,
again, like I think that if that becomes a regular part of the meta, you're going to be more likely to have a few units waiting for that to push the shuttle back. Shuttles don't have that much health, so I could see something like that also being stopped. But the fact that shuttle instant jumped on it, because normally you look at that and you say, okay, I have to stop the Reaver push. I need right.
I thought there was a Reaver in the shuttle, and I'm like, well, I mean, this sort of comes down to like, you know, trying to first of all not lose the Reaver in the shuttle, and then you try to dodge the storms, and sometimes they shoot 2 storms out, and you have like 10 hit points on the Reaver, and it kills the cannons, and you win the game, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is just very refreshing to see. So the build would be Observer, well, Shuttle in this case, because he probably wanted to actually do a Reaver push. But then he sees the DT coming, so then it's Shuttle, Observer, push, with the second Observer make the Reaver, but basically get in there, and, you know, you have, what was it, 6 Dragoons? And then he made 2 Zealots behind that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, 6 Dragoons is going to be 3 Dragoons and a Zealot and 2 Templars, which don't have Storm, by the way. Huh.
Pretty crazy game. Pretty crazy game there.
Very interesting.
And I mean, Bisu even did damage. I bet he felt really confident after he got 5 kills with that. And he slowed the push of Snow.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he was like, oh, yeah, no, I got this. I've held this 1,000 times.
That DT rush was so quick that he even after having to kill 1 Dragoon, he still killed like 4 or 5 probes, which is enough. It's insane. We're going to go to game 2 now in what has been just a treat of a PvP so far. Let's see what happens. I don't know what the map is. I wasn't looking at it. Here we go. All right.
Polaris Rhapsody.
Polaris Rhapsody. What does Rhapsody mean?
A rhapsody is a type of song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, are you just
like Bohemian Rhapsody?
You should look this up.
RHASPODY.
What is the definition of this? Okay, I can't find it. Oh,
we're back.
We're back on camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, not sure exactly what went wrong there. We did have a little bit of a technical delay earlier as well, so it might be something like Snow's PC or something. It seems like it might have disconnected a couple times, but they took care of it quickly last time. Should be fine. Now, I feel like that game very much does not tell us that Snow is a better player than Bisu. In fact, Bisu, it felt like, had the upper hand, and then Snow, like, kind of... I don't even know the right metaphor for what it was, because he found something that we've never seen and killed Bisu with it. So it was like a very... it was like a... It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime game.
Yeah, it was very unusual. Well, it's funny because even when it was happening, we thought, oh, is there like a Reaver with this?
Yeah.
Oh, there's not. Oh, okay, because everybody's tried the elevator strat with the Reaver.
Yeah.
But it's too late. They have another round of Dragoons and they can storm you. But with that, I'm like, oh, I guess the Reaver's not even really important in that moment. I don't know.
You just have more units.
You like my shirt, Artosis? Remember when I was wearing this shirt in San Francisco and Jeff came out on our first day of doing that remastered event and he goes, Tasteless, you brought your eyeball shirt today.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Nice. That's what he said. Making fun of me. Nice, Nick, you brought your eyeball shirt
your
to
eyeball
the show.
shirt. Yeah. Looking good, Tasteless.
Every time I see this shirt, I think of that and laugh.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get back into this game soon. Got to be a frustrating moment for Bisu, but that's one of those moments, even for me as a caster, I'm like, ooh, I've really learned something.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
Well, he
Very
lost, right? He loses the best of 1 to Larva, who just played magnificently tonight and definitely deserved to get out in first place. And then he crushes the rushes of effort. So it's like, okay, now PvP, which he's known to be a god at.
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, it did damage, and then he just dies, and it's like, oh, damn. You know, it's one of those. But because it's only a best of 3, like, if this is a best of 5, I'm still betting on Bisu, but now we got 2 games for Snow to try to pull one.
Yeah, and high-level PvP does...
It's a little
like,
volatile.
A best of 1 PvP never really does the matchup justice because there is some gambling within the matchup, some risk-taking because of how hard around the edges the tech is for Protoss. How if you're really teching into one thing, you're definitely giving up something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess we'll just see what happens here. A DT rush is always it's high risk, high reward. Like if Snow does the same build, we get to a very weird matchup. That was like a DT rush that's not. I mean, if Snow does the same thing, they're both going to start killing each other, and it gets to be a very strange game. But I don't know.
Well, DT has always been like a very strong style for Bisu. We've already seen him use it a ton in this tournament, mostly against Terrans, but obviously you do use them against Zergs and now against Snow here in PvP. So almost like the spirit animal unit here for Bisu so far. And the thing is, his follow-ups to the DT builds, I think, are scarier than the DTs themselves.
Well, the idea is that you definitely, first of all, if anybody's being greedy and just going Nexus first, which has been quite popular the last couple of years, you win. You win outright. If they go Robo, you don't lose outright either.
Yeah.
You've expanded, you've got cannons, and you go into a Templar tech.
It generally feels like the Robo player there, if they went Observer first, is definitely ahead, but... Right?
It depends. It really depends. A lot of times, if you get the Observer and don't expand with him, like that game, he went 2-gate.
Yeah.
He didn't go Robo, Quick Observer, Nexus on the low ground. He went 2-gate there, so you're very uncomfortable. In that moment. I was excited to see what Bisu was going to do because I actually DT rush a decent amount.
You?
I do.
No,
in
you
PvP
don't.
because I automatically win. Like we were saying, if they just went Nexus and don't get Observers. But if they don't, I've got a real game on my hands, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm glad we got to delay it this moment because I have a lot to say about this whole
Well, it was definitely a very interesting
situation.
game. I think that I just love seeing someone pull something out like that, too.
It does seem like Snow's opener is pretty strong if they did the Crawling Reaver expand. You just push them.
Oh, yeah, just the Reaver, the quick shuttle, the quick Reaver. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, okay, and if they're doing anything like 3-gate, you're also fine.
I wonder...
Which can happen in those spawns as well. You're pretty close.
Yeah. It's a very kind of open-ended safety build, I guess.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, the Observer was not coming because he was going quick
The fact that you're getting the shuttle and you have the 2 gates set up, you're basically trying to get the opportunity to take a fight. You don't lose to DT. You don't lose to obviously 3-gate unless you're just on the bottom of your ramp and you're not watching or something.
Yeah.
You don't get contained either. The Reaver comes out pretty quick. And if they went Nexus first, I guess you can just try to push in. It's about as quick of a... If you get the shuttle right when the Robo finishes, and then the Observer, and then the Reaver, you've kind of covered everything except for the DT build that Bisu did, which was still held. He doesn't lose the game there, you know.
I actually think he went shuttle Reaver and then was like, oh crap, and then like canceled out.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm almost certain of that because he saw the DT far enough out and then it took long enough. I think he stalled for so long that it was literally like he had to cancel the Reaver.
I think you might be right about that. That makes more sense. Because it seemed like a long time for the Observer to come out. Like if the shuttle's already out, the Observer should have been like
almost done,
or basically it comes out like as the DT maybe gets to the first probe.
Yeah. But yeah, it took a long time actually because he like stalled it on the ramp, then he stalled it again at the pylons, and then it lost 5 probes, and then he got it.
I guess it's a build where you're basically set it up for a quick.
It was a quick Reaver push,
and then if they do DTs, you barely
live.
You lose like a fourth of your probes, and then you do that elevator trick and win the game.
Yeah,
I guess.
Or it could turn into the Reaver push, I guess. But that's going to be a lot slower too. So crazy game. Yeah, I wonder what we're going to see coming up. It's going to be Polaris Rhapsody, right? So shuttle play is going to be so strong if we get into the game. Like
if we get into the game.
Well, into the game in that way, if the game ever starts, but also
we're stuck on this delay.
If we get past the early game, you have that big ledge behind your main, right?
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of area where you can do drops. Like for instance, a Psystorm drop. Can you imagine right there? So good.
So good. Psystorm drops in the late game PvP. One of the best things there is.
Yeah, for sure.
Probes die so fast a storm, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
if they touch the storm, they disappear.
Probes really die quickly. Like for some, it seems like drones should be weaker, and drones get targeted more than probes in general. I think because there's like less drones and stuff. But probes are actually weaker than drones when you're hunting.
So probes are actually built with a special cracked glass. That's how they
Special
make
cracked
them. Yeah,
glass.
it's like they're made out of glass.
You want to
They've
make them look like
They've
they're
already been
old?
dropped a couple times.
Yeah.
Probes are made out of broken iPhone screens. Is the way I think of them.
I was going to say they're made out of wraiths. Like you recycle wraiths to make probes.
Yeah, they die extremely quickly. And it's funny too because somehow the probe is one of the strongest units in the early game.
Yeah.
But then when you
So
have
much
them in bulk
microbility.
and there's better units that are out, they suck.
Yeah. Well, that's for sure. They're not fighting units the longer you get into the game. They're not like SCVs where,
yeah,
like in the mirror matchup, Terran versus Terran, like the SCVs are one of your best units.
Yeah, yeah. Very true.
You
Very
bust
true.
stuff all day with those. But yeah, the probes do die so quickly that what? No. I have more to
us
say.
Back on camera.
All right,
Bisu
and Snow.
Old Biebers.
Justin Biebsu.
Justin Biebsu.
Oh my
That
god.
is so funny.
You got to make that ID for the ladder, Tasteless. Justin Biebsu. That sounds like a
is
Tasteless
so
ID right
good.
there.
Yes. I already had a couple dumb Tasteless letters. I just had Micro Jackson.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. Then you had your like 2003 Tasteless Smurf ID, the bus driver.
The bus driver.
It's like, yeah, okay,
The
Tasteless,
garbage
you're not
man.
17 anymore, bro.
The garbage man.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the real player of the bus driver wasn't me.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Just to be clear.
But it's like the type of ID that you've always.
Yeah.
You've
Like
always
some
gotten
kind of
ones
generic,
like that.
weird. Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Snow with the proxy gate?
I'll tell you, man. You think Proxygate's good against Zerg and Terran? It's even better against Protoss because probes are not good. You can win a game so quickly. Now, there's two types of proxies.
It's going to be 9-9?
It can be a 9-9 or it could be just one gate on 9 into tech at home.
It's 9-9.
9-9. 9-9-9-9-9-9-9-9. 9!
That's what Bisu's going to be saying.
That's
when
what
the
German
Zealots walk up
Bisu
to-
says. He's like, 9!
9!
He said, that's not destroying my probes.
Okay, let's see when he scouts this.
So-
you always go Zealot first, though, right?
I almost brought up Proxygate, and then I didn't. I thought, well, it might not happen, but it's very good. You see this at all levels of play on the ladder.
All right, so Snow loses. We're on to game 3.
No, that's not true.
You don't think so? I think Bisu is going to smash this. And I have a lot of experience actually in this situation because I actually had a ladder account where I went only proxy 2 gate.
I know.
And when you get scouted and they put down their second gate and they have more probes in the ramp, you're like, oh no, this is very difficult.
But there's still a viable sequence here.
Yeah?
He puts the pylon on the low ground. He throws the battery down on the high ground. You keep trying to push. This all comes down to control. You're right in the sense that Snow is certainly not at the advantage he was. Like, had this probe not scouted. Ooh, even body block.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Keep in mind, this is a large ramp. If it was a tiny ramp like on
Yeah, I guess it's
Fighting Spirit,
it's slightly bigger than a jungle ramp.
Yes.
That is true.
This is the biggest ramp that there is in the game, right? The Twilight ramp?
No, there's the space ramp is a little bit bigger.
So the problem right now is that the battery is closer to the ramp for Snow. And you really can't give up the ramp right now.
Yeah, sure.
As Bisu.
Yeah, he's trying to put damage onto it.
Yeah. If you could kill the battery, that's what you want to get. But if you can just control the ramp, if you just control the ramp and get your gas up, it's okay. See, he has to go back and touch that. Now, the question for Snow is, do I just fight the Zealots? Do I try to kill a probe? I think the answer is you have to fight the Zealots. We may see Bisu pull a probe or two here.
Yeah, I wonder.
But I like seeing pros get in these positions because I want to see how they handle it. Okay, so he goes for the cannon rush variation. And the idea is, it's because gas is being made here, you're very, very, very concerned with just controlling the ramp. And a cannon, and notice how he made the forge in the rush.
Yeah.
This is where it's not going to be scouted. When you make a cannon, the cannon could fire up, it opens up the entrance, the Zealots spill in, you can still take the game.
But seeing that there's no gas on the other side, don't you kind of expect that this could be happening?
Certainly.
All right, so he throws down a pylon to the south.
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to have a cannon that comes up here, and then he's going to put pylons on the high ground, cannons on the high ground.
How does he get his probe up there?
When he makes another cannon here, watch. It's all delayed slightly.
Okay.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, it's going over there. I thought you meant like down behind the minerals. I'm like, what does that do to help?
No.
No, that's a good cannon.
No, you
I like
put
that
it there, but if he can make another pylon up inside the main, you just sort of push in there.
Yeah.
And
but he's going to get defensive cannons.
yeah,
Okay.
There's one other trick you can do. What? 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 Wait, what did?
Oh, you know what he did? That was a wall, the pylon and the gas. The assimilator makes the gas smaller.
Oh my!
So he had to build
God.
that to get his probe behind.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Okay,
Brood War's a crazy game.
Yeah, I did not. I'm actually glad you said that. I would have been forever.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. The probe's coming up now. He is making a couple cannons of his own here on the defense. Bisu has a good spread of Zealots. The cannon, of course, adding a lot of DPS. He can go back. Nice shield battery usage. And Snow trying to get on top of this cannon here, targeting it down. That is a very important part of it. But I think Bisu is holding.
Yeah, I think Bisu holds.
Single Zealot wiggles his way in. Yeah, I don't think you want to leave all those alone.
Yeah, so the idea is that he's going to try to chip away at these probes down here. There's not a lot of probes in this game, by the way.
Again, this doesn't feel good for Snow, though, right?
No,
like he's done all the tricks.
Bisu's almost held this.
Yeah.
This game shouldn't even go on for much longer. He probably would have wanted to have a few more Zealots down here, like 3, so he can just one-shot probes.
Yeah, the cannon here, he's chasing down this one Zealot. Can't imagine it getting too much done. But of course, when he gets Dragoons, that's when it's going to get dirty.
Dargons.
He's going to get those Dargons out.
Man.
Dargons and Archons, man. Oh, look at that. He walks back to the cannons.
Yeah, it's so dirty.
He like goes back to his big brothers to help him against the bully.
So the Zealots are going to try to come in at an angle. This should just be held.
Yeah, there's no way.
A cannon will change the math on this so quickly. But Bisu handled this perfectly by just having enough.
Okay, going in, I mean, he's just got so many more Zealots here, and he's healing up with that battery some. Snow, of course, healing as well and trying to utilize those cannons. But you see Bisu just getting further and further ahead. He's up 9 supply right now. He's going to have those Dragoons a bit quicker, too.
And then, I mean, I wonder what the tech would be for here for Snow. I know that the rush has failed, but I'm always interested in weird all-ins and like, okay, so like, it didn't work, but is there some other trick you can pull?
Yeah, it's a very good question because right now the probe is still in his base and he's got like all these cannons and stuff. It feels like we're just going to see Bisu make Dragoons and he wins. Because he'll chase the Zealots out and like the gateway's over here, the forge is over here, a bunch of his pylons are over here.
He can heal
and you
up.
can't remake all that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Look, he's making Dragoons, but it's like 2 Dragoons on low ground versus 2 Dragoons on high ground. You have to... it's not good. It's not that good.
Well, he did kill a Zealot.
Yeah,
not count him out yet, Artosis.
He nailed that Zealot, Tasteless. He got him. Gateway at home, gateway at home. Okay. Look at this Zealot still. At least he gets unlimited scouting with the Zealot.
Yeah.
Oh, not if he does that. Oh, 4 health.
Okay,
well.
Zealot's reign of terror is over.
Yeah, as the 4 Dragoons are out, he is going down that ramp.
We should be nearing the end here.
Yeah, I would say so. Targeting down these cannons as well, and as those cannons fall, the damage output of Snow's rush falls with them.
Yeah, and from here he can barrel down the ramp. And I mean, Bisu has a bigger army. I think the bottleneck may complicate things.
Yeah. I think that's definitely correct. Like, I think as Snow, the one thing you gotta be very sure of is all your Dragoons make it out. Like, punish as he comes down the ramp as best you can. But after that, like, make sure your Dragoons get home and you keep producing off your 2 gates, and maybe you can do something with a high Dragoon count. But the slow Zealots do not feel like they are going to scale well.
It may look like things are evening out and there's a contain here, but I think over time, and I think the supplies are an easier way to look at this game here is that he should have more probes and more attacking units. And eventually somebody's going to have to expand. And Bisu can both expand before Snow and probably stop Snow when he does expand.
Yeah.
And this is why if a proxy gate's held, basically it's going to be a win for the person that defends it. It can go into a more normal game, but at this level of play, people are very good in their decision making.
And you see Snow is actually targeting down the Dragoons really well, so props to him on that. He's actually got more Dragoons now, so I think that Bisu is a bit sloppy coming down that ramp, because really all that matters is Dragoons.
Okay, so this was actually a pretty big error here.
Yeah.
And Bisu may lose this game now. I kind of didn't believe it when it was happening, but yeah, he sort of mismanaged that, and now Snow is actually okay.
And now he's on 4-gate Dragoon on the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah.
But if Bisu sits now and utilizes his Robotech, he'll be all right.
I don't know about that, man. It's really hard to get out of this area. First of all, the Robotech's very late because of the nature of the rush.
But it's a lot later for Snow.
Yeah, but that's fine because Snow has the bottom of the ramp. Now, the whole game's about the ramp right now.
It certainly is. But
It's so hard to get down a ramp against somebody like Snow who's going to control well. And the only edge that Bisu had was the fact that he had a larger army that maybe could have taken a fight.
Now, going to drop out a couple Zealots up there. I love the pylon to see any shuttles coming out. That's definitely Snow has his brain in the right place here. Oh, he's just ferrying quite a few units out, actually.
Now, this, I should be caught.
Yeah, this probe is coming down. It's going to see 2 Dragoons. Those Dragoons might be forfeit. Okay, these 2 Zealots trying to get by. They get caught as well from the 2 gates in the main base.
Yeah, and the idea was to send those Zealots in and then just slowly... oh, that's cute. I guess he sends 4 Dragoons into the main because that way you can one-shot probes. Very interesting.
Isn't it 3 Dragoons to one-shot probes?
3 Dragoons one-shot a probe, but I mean 2 Dragoons fit in a shuttle, so I think it's sort of how much stuff can you get out effectively here. But there is a Reaver out here.
Well, okay. Yeah, looks like he will be able to push him back. It's a decent Scarab hit there. Zealot's tanking quite a bit, and finally Bisu takes the bottom of his ramp.
So important. Really, he played a phenomenal game.
Oh, his goons are getting stuck, though.
You know, this is one of the problems, though, is the Dragoon is so important here, and this is just going to be killed.
Yeah, trades him 4 for 2. So Snow's made a lot of good moves.
Yeah, again, I find games like this so fascinating to watch because at the highest level, there are so many little decisions that can be made that are so good. You know, most games on Battle.net just fizzle out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's either the rush is held or it's not.
Yeah.
But when you have people this good, there's all these different forks in the road and ways the game can go. By the way, you really got to appreciate this obstruction here.
Yeah, look at that. Sees the pylon.
See, now he's going to say, there's no shuttle here. Maybe I can attack him.
Yeah, I don't think he can, though. Yeah, he sees it, turns around.
Oh! It does.
Oh, nice. Okay, so Bisu's expanding. Where does Snow go from here to try to come back? He's still on 4 gates. He's getting his own Reaver. Okay, I guess that's it, right? It's the Reaver push with lots of Dragoons.
Shuttle speed finally finishes.
Ooh. There is a cannon in the main mineral line, which I think will help out and slow this down a little bit.
It's funny how the cannon rush then complements the defense back at home. Thing is, you probably need 2 cannons, and in reality, I actually feel like you can just kill the cannon and then kill the workers.
Or kill the workers?
Or kill the workers and then kill the workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can see that it doesn't really cover this. And, it's not that many shots from a Reaver. Are you kidding me? To then just wipe out these workers. And I think he's just going to dive bomb this in here. No.
Oh, man, he's just going to get out of there. Well, Snow has, like, no economy, but he definitely has a bigger army right now.
He's got the army that he needed to get.
Ooh!
I actually think Snow can win this, dude.
That was insane Reaver shots. I think you're actually right.
Yeah, no,
I think Bisu has really messed this game up multiple times. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, my God.
I can't even believe it. Without the shuttle there, shuttles with Reavers will always be just Reavers on the ground.
Yeah, especially when you're Snow.
Snow has taken... He's taken the cheese all the way. It came all the way back to a... And by the way, if this push hadn't worked, the game would have ended because there's been so many probes that have been killed. Ah!
Yeah, that's a good point. But now he can kind of remake his probes. It's not like Bisu can do anything from here. He's not as good with the Reaver, honestly. Dude, I feel weird about this game.
I feel good.
I feel weird because, like, Bisu, he held the rush so well, and then he came down the ramp poorly. And then he's like, well, I'll go counter harass while expanding. It's like, oh, you actually are doing too many things at once. You don't actually need to do anything except stay alive at that point, right?
Yeah. So all that Snow has to do is keep making probes. And I know that, guys, neither player's expanded, but the problem is that Bisu cannot expand until he fixes this. Snow can basically almost mine out and make a Nexus at the last second.
Yeah.
And squeak by. Now, shuttle speed's done.
Look at this. He's got Dragoons out, so this gets caught, and he loses 2 Reavers. And that's it. That's it. He just lost the shuttle with 2 Reavers. He comes down the ramp. This is him giving up with the rest of his units. And Snow is going to advance 2-0 from an absolutely strategic deficit. Outplays Bisu, no question. No question that he deserved to advance here.
Snow truly a Protoss's Protoss right there. Look at Bisu. Bisu's like, oh my god. Oh, so salty.
I wonder what his stream chat's going to look like after tonight, man. Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what. That's an informative game.
Yeah.
The double gate is literally the most common strategy in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has tried to double gate, and usually, again, it either kills them or it's held.
Yeah.
This is actually like, a 2,800 players double gating. One getting rushed, the other one holding it. And you see the ins and outs, and you see that actually the game can continue to develop. The cannon rush portion can be held.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into 4-gate. It goes into controlling the ramp. It goes into eventually a Reaver push. So cool.
Yeah. Well done by Snow to be able to end up holding that and going in when he smelt the weakness. So deserved this round of 8 for him.
Yeah. Well,
sad to see Bisu go, but
he looked
he did not look anywhere near as good as Snow.
Snow looked like a better Protoss player, to be
100%.
honest. Was what that last game looked like. Oh, I'm just better than you.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
All right. Quick interview, guys.
시즌 11 16강 C조 경기 모두 만나보셨습니다. 오늘의 두 번째 8강 진출자 장윤철 선수 함께하겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
와, 최종전 끝에 승리를 거두고 8강 진출에 성공하셨습니다. 실리를 다 챙기신 것 같아요. 쭉펠레라는 이미지도 챙기고 8강 진출도 하고 1위로 진출할 거라고 예상을 하셨는데 그건 맞추지 못하셨지만 결국에 8강 진출은 이뤄내셨거든요. 지금 좀 기분이 어떠세요?
너무 힘들게 이겨서요. 얼떨떨하고요. 사실 홍구랑 했을 때 첫 판을 이기고 나서 진짜 거의 다 잡았다고 생각했거든요. 계속 역전패 당하면서 뭔가 멘탈이 깨졌었어요. 그래가지고 좀 안 되는 날인가 보다 하고 부정적인 생각도 하고 그랬는데 또 어찌어찌 잘 됐네요.
오히려 저는 장윤철 선수가 이 손목 때문에 컨트롤이나 멀티에 있어서 멀티플레이에 있어서 조금 힘들지 않을까라고 생각했는데 이몽규 선수와의 승자전에서 또 컨트롤은 정말 좋았거든요. 질럿의 활용이라든지 선게이트 쪽을 계속 좀 하면서 좀 공략하려는 시도까지는 좋았습니다만 이몽규 선수의 경기력 때문인지 약간 장윤철 선수가 멘탈이 좀 흔들리셨던 것 같은데 좀 어떤 선수가 최종전에 올라오기를 좀 바라고 계셨었나요?
일단 어떤 정우 형이 올라오면 좋겠다고 생각했지만 태경이 형이 올라올 것 같았어요. 그래가지고 좀 혼자서 저는 한 1시간 정도 시간이 있었잖아요. 그 시간 동안 계속 이제 빌드 생각하면서 머릿속으로 계속 좀 심리전을 생각했던 것 같아요. 그게 좀 유효해가지고 잘 됐네요.
김태경 선수와의 최종전에서도 위기가 없었던 건 아니었어요. 두 판 모두. 하지만 순간순간 장윤철 선수의 판단이 굉장히 빛났는데 두 번째 판 같은 경우에는 사실 게이트가 좀 정찰을 당하면서 어려운 출발을 할 수밖에 없었거든요. 역시 또 어려운 상황마다 장윤철 선수의 리버는 늘 든든하게 좀 장윤철 선수를 수호해 주는 것 같습니다. 어떠세요?
일단 그 게임은 전혀 들킬 거라고 생각 안 했어요. 그래서 좀 마음 편하게 이게 맵을 다 준비하기는 힘들거든요. 그래서 한 게임 정도는 그냥 그렇게 하자 했는데 처음에 들켜서 너무 당황스러웠고요. 근데 거기서 이제 절실함이 빛을 발했죠. 인생 걸었던 것 같아요.
그 앞마당 싸움에서 정말 이 리버가 다수의 드라군을 잡아낼 때 안도의 한숨을 좀 내쉬셨을 것 같아요.
그쵸. 사실 제가 그때는 그거밖에 없었거든요. 딱 그 수 하나밖에 없었는데 거기서 이제 스캐럽이 좀 잘 터지면서 제가 좀 유리해질 것 같다고 느끼는 순간 좀 안도의 한숨이 났어요.
이제 다전제 8강을 준비하셔야 할 차례입니다. 장윤철 선수도 결승까지 간 경험이 있는 선수이기 때문에 올라갈수록 그 경험이 또 빛을 발하지 않을까 기대하고 계시는 팬분들이 계시거든요. 어떨 것 같으세요?
이번 시즌은 매번 제가 절실하다 그러는데 이번 시즌은 진짜 절실한 것 같아요. 이번 시즌 진짜 뭐 대회는 계속 나오겠지만 이렇게 준비할 수 없을 수도 있을 것 같거든요. 그래가지고 정말 힘든 기회인 것 같은데 이때 다전제에서 다 이기고 올라가 보도록 하겠습니다.
네, 또 응원해주신 팬분들에게도 감사의 인사 한 말씀 남겨주시죠.
일단 연습 도와준 사람이 굉장히 많거든요.
네.
저는 이제 좀 여러 명한테 여러 게임 하는 걸 좀 좋아해가지고 그 선수들한테 너무 좀 고맙고요. 또 팬분들이 솔직히 막 카톡도 보내요. 저한테 뭐 윤철 선수 뭐 손목 때문에 좀 열심히 하지 말고 그래도 좀 여유롭게 해라 그러는데
네.
팬분들한테 또 너무 감사합니다. 열심히 해서 결승까지 가보도록 하겠습니다.
네, 이번 시즌 장윤철 선수의 비상 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 ASL 시즌 11 16강 시조의 두 번째 8강 진출자 장윤철 선수와 함께했습니다.
Well, guys, this wraps up just an awesome night of ASL.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
this was my favorite night so far.
This was pretty good. Even though it doesn't have the race that I play and love the most, it was some amazing games. I got to say, like, overall for me, Larva was the big star tonight. I'm not just saying that because he got first place. I think that his slightly alternative style, his reactivity, his control of the game was amazing and immaculate tonight. And I think he can have a deep run this season. And now you see the group draw, of course, we're going to have at the end of Group D, I do believe. So we are going to figure out where we're at. We have so far in this next round, the round of 8, 3 Protoss players, 2 Zerg players, and a lone Terran player.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun, Group D. Should be a pretty long, epic night. Probably a lot of TVTs there.
And there is our Group D. Rush, Royal, Hero, and Light. Hero's going to have his work cut out for him as the lone Zerg in the group. Should be the longest night that we have of ASL in the whole season.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and these are basically the 3 Terrans most people think right now come after Flash. So these are basically 3 of the top 4 Terrans. Maybe, I mean, JYJ and Sharp are both kind of in the discussion as well, but this is going to be an amazing night, especially if you're a Terran player.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what Hero's going to do. I think Hero actually has a real shot of getting out of this group.
Yeah,
he's
true.
very good
Yeah.
at prepping, and there's something too when you just have one matchup you got to work on. Yeah.
And yeah, I also want to mention is for the round of 8, we have the perfect racial distribution as well. It's going to be 3-3-2 no matter what. David Kim, man.
David Kim did it again.
Wasn't even working there during the last
Wowzers,
balance
yeah.
patch. Still a StarCraft 1 player back then, but yeah, that's great. It just gives us the perfect round of 8, whether 2 Terrans advance or 1 Zerg. That's going to be what the balance is. But I am so looking forward to this group. We're going to have some great Terran vs. Zergs and, of course, endless Terran vs. Terrans all night long.
Yeah, and then after that, we're done with the round of 16.
Yeah, that's
done.
right.
We go to round of 8 after that.
Yeah, we'll have the group draw, and then we'll have the round of 8 just starting up, which is all best of 5s. That's going to be amazing.
Cannot wait. I love it when we get to the round of 8.
I can't wait to see what the matchups are in the round of 8 because I feel like we have some players that can go really far if they get the right match.
Yeah,
but probably won't win like Larva. I don't think Larva will win the season, but like if he gets best,
If he gets like ZVZ though, it's like that could be hard to deal with.
That's a harder one for him,
Yeah.
I think, too. Like he's done okay ZVZ, but specifically if you look at who he can get, if he gets best, I can see him beating best. I can see him getting another
It
round
could
of 4,
happen.
which is awesome for him.
But if Best makes those Dark Archons Tasis is talking about,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. And then you have, like, for instance, JYJ. How far is he going to go? We don't know. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for checking out the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. And we will see you for Group D.